Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS, and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, that's KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
Tickets to Nickelback. Nickelback's going to be in town with Brantley Gilbert on September 21st at the BOK Center. Tickets on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m., livenation.com. We've got best and worst of the weekend. We've got Our Listeners Are Awesome. And at 9, we're going to do something where it's one of the more fascinating things we do. And we're going to have an attorney on to answer your questions about divorce and custody and guardianship and the tangled web that is. Jeff Hensley from Hensley & Associates will join us. If you have a question, get your question to us ahead of time. The email address, show@kmod.com, text ahead of time, or call when he's in at 9, as Jeff will answer any of the questions about family law. And golf and beer for a year. We'll call and find somebody every hour to win a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for two at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. From Corona Premier Light Beer in Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. And we just qualified Stevie Sills of Henrietta. Little Stevie Sills. Congratulations to him as he's now... yes.
I didn't think about that.
Very rarely.
Very rare. Mm-hmm.
There are certain names, but Stevie, I feel like, is rarely a girl.
Yeah, I've only known one other female to be named Stevie or calls herself Stevie.
No offense to those people that have dual sex names.
Right. It's
But-
confusing sometimes.
Well, the idea that somebody's going to yell, Steve, it just feels odd.
Yeah. Lindsay has a unisexual name.
I do.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Not as much. It's the
yeah.
opposite of Stevie, right?
Right. A rarity, but I mean Lindsay Buckingham.
Sure.
And I can't think of any other dudes named Lindsay at this point in my life, but I'm sure they're out there.
I mean, Stevie Nicks.
Right. There you go. Since we're on the old Fleetwood Mac.
Usually guys are just Steve.
Yeah. Or Stephen.
Or Stephen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. When they're little, they're Stevie. Probably.
Well, everybody's got some
Itty
little
bitty.
name.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that isn't ever transfer up except your mother calls you that.
Right. Or just the patriarchs in your family.
What was your pet name from your parents?
My dad called me LB or Lynn's or Miss Lynn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your mom?
It was always Lindsay.
What about you, Gimpy?
Gimpy.
Your parents didn't call you Gimpy.
They did.
Your mom, I mean, maybe later.
And that's
But your mom didn't call you
Hey,
little
you.
Gimpy.
pass.
Which one are you?
Yeah. Hey, you.
You're still here?
Number 2. Get in here.
I had a friend growing up, and they were not very creative with pet names.
Uh-huh.
It was dog and bunny and cat. And I mean, I guess there could be parents out there that do the same.
Right. Hey, boy. Hey,
Kid.
girl.
Hey,
Whatever. Hey, you.
So, but your mom didn't have like a term of endearment nickname?
Oh, they did, but I'm just not going to share it on the air. It's not
Okay,
like
no,
it's-
that's
It's
okay.
not embarrassing or anything. I just choose not to for reasons that I choose not to.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
you get that right for sure. It's a little shocking and surprising coming from you, but okay.
Did your folks, what they call you, Corby or Corbs?
No, boo boo.
Boo Boo.
Mm,
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't.
I guess
have
it was a
anything
mistake. I don't know.
Like Boo Boo, I didn't have anything like that. Why? No, never did. I'm trying to think of if anybody in my family, any of my brothers. No, none of them had names like that, right? Like Boo Boo or Sparky or whatever.
Right. Spark.
It was just
Sparky.
usually it's just like the first name with an E at the end. of
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work with Lindsay because Lindsay already has the
Yeah,
E in there,
right.
Mhm.
But like Corby or something.
Yeah, that
to
was never a
effect.
thing.
Mhm.
Not until I came here was that a thing. Ever in my
Sad.
life. No one ever shorted my name
Right.
and added an IE until I started working here. And it doesn't bother me. I don't really care. If I criticize, it's a joke. And you don't have to share them if you don't want to. Do you have nicknames for your kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have nicknames for your kids, Gimpy?
I did when they were young.
You don't call them that anymore.
Oh, very rarely. I'll call my daughter Sweet Pea still from time to time, but like my oldest boy was Monkey Man because he just crawl all over everything. But he outgrew that at like 5, 6. And then with, I do still call my youngest one the Dude or Deuce. One of the two. Mostly Dude. Hey, dude, what?
Yeah.
Love it. But I still call him that to this day. I've called him that from the beginning of time. Probably will. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess.
It was never a planned thing. It just happened.
Yeah.
Right? So much, in fact, that my first kid didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
My second kid did get one. And my first kid was like, well, I want one.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no, it's forced. It doesn't work as well.
Right. It has to come naturally. What are they if you don't mind?
I'm not going to share them.
Okay. No, I get it, man. I totally
Well, listen, that's theirs.
Right.
I don't need none of you jackasses coming up in Walmart
Right.
using a term of endearment that my wife and I use.
Hey, Sparky, how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you.
Because they will.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a boundary for my wife. So
that's fair.
I'm respecting that.
That's fair.
Boo-boo's totally embarrassing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
My family called me Butsy a lot too. Lindsay Butsy Bauer.
Because you got a huge ass?
Yep.
Okay.
It was
Are
always,
you kidding
I always
me?
had a bubble butt, even growing up. Like when I was a little girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And my grandfather used to sing Lindsay Butsy Bauer, got caught in the shower. Like it was always,
Our parents are horrible.
For real.
it was the whole thing. Butsy.
Yeah, that is a thing. That's gotta mess.
No, didn't bother me.
Nah.
It stuck with me.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
Scars
scarred
do.
you.
Yeah. They don't go away. Wow, that's a deep cut.
For real.
That'd be like calling me tiny.
Right?
Little tiny Corbin caught in the shower.
Uh-oh.
You're like, oh God, I'm small. Right?
Likewise, yes.
Yeah. Now, if they comment on your genitalia. Oh, speaking of weird, I'm watching the Duggar documentary.
Oh,
on Amazon. Dude.
Now, that's the one with like 15, 16 kids. 19 kids. And
almost 20.
Like one of the older boys got caught diddling the little girls,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Dude.
Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
How far are you?
I'm halfway.
Okay.
I watched it on the plane. It's more about the cult that they were a part of
Mm-hmm.
and less about them. They're kind of like a subtext of the story and like
Okay.
as the vessel of information, and they go back to it. But dude, you can see similarities of how they want to control everyone and some of the things that are playing out in society today.
Okay.
Huh.
Is this the one?
Like
shiny,
what
happy?
people should wear. Yeah,
Okay.
shiny, happy people. What people should wear, who should talk, who shouldn't.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's creepy AF. To the point where I was like, I don't know if I want to watch the second episode.
Oh, really? There's more.
There's 4 episodes. They're like 45 minutes or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But one of the things is spanking, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rod, using the rod to discipline your child or whatever, right? And a lot that's in some of the literature of religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the part that kind of put me on my heels was that you always do. Anybody who doesn't obey gets the rod.
Mm-hmm.
Even wives.
Yeah. Wow.
Even yes.
Mm.
That one woman even responded in one of the interviews that said if she didn't respond to her husband with the phrase "Yes, Lord," that she knew violence would be coming.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now, it isn't subjective to just that. That happens. There are relationships where that happens where that's not a thing. But in this, like everyone.
Right.
And so when you go back to the Duggar thing and those girls, came to his defense on national television with Megyn Kelly.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, because they were told to. They had
Yeah.
to.
Mhm.
Even if they were not explicitly sat down and said, do this.
Mhm.
They knew they had to do that.
Right. It's either that or get beaten.
Yes.
Mhm.
How trippy is that?
Wow. Yeah, that's
So
insane.
And then the fact that the Discovery Channel, this became their flagship show. I'm sorry, the Learning Channel, owned by the Discovery Group, became their flagship show to the point where it made them so massive, they bought Warner and own HBO.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they were this vessel of horribleness.
Yeah.
Even going back to things of like how homeschooling was like they did homeschooling and they took that back to, I'm totally simplifying some of this,
Yeah.
but they went that homeschooling because all these kids were homeschooled and homeschool became a thing within this group that they're focusing on because of segregation. And that these people of this group didn't want their kids going to school with black kids. So they were like, we'll just homeschool. And that's kind of the root of homeschooling. And I know some of you got homeschooled or are homeschooled or believe in that, and you're not going to believe that. And that's fine. That doesn't mean you believe that.
Right.
Right. That's not like
That's
you
just how
do
it
it.
started.
Yes. Barbecue goes back to slavery. So it's not like if you eat barbecue, that doesn't mean you're for slavery.
Mhm.
I'm just good. I'm for really good smoked meats.
Yeah.
Sounds weird when you say it out loud.
Yes, you are.
Whatever.
And the idea of that they wanted to become folded in with society. So it didn't feel odd.
Mhm.
And when you see some of the things that they did and they got this TV show, you're like, oh no, happening right in front of our eyes and nobody said a thing. Matter of fact, we all got in line to watch it.
So I thought the reason why they had this TV show was because they were a family of 19 kids. So did
Well,
everyone?
they weren't 19 in the beginning, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They just kept having babies. Did everyone in this group, this so-called cult, like this?
They are a cult.
Yeah.
When you see it,
Okay, yeah.
they're a cult.
Do all of the different families have so many children?
So the belief is, I don't want to ruin too much of you for
Right.
you, but
But they don't believe in birth control.
they believe each kid is a blessing. And one of the vows you take when you get married is, you will accept as many children as God blesses you with.
Mhm. Or as many
Right.
times as you have to accept the rod, basically.
You.
Oh, well, again, I don't want to go too down the rabbit hole with you, but women are so indoctrined to believe that when a man asks you to get married, you have to wait for God to present somebody to you. And when they do, you just say yes, because when they must ask because they want to. And you save yourself for your wedding night, right? Kissing, all this stuff. One woman was like, I believed it was going to be this beautiful thing. I got raped like 3 times and got pregnant.
Oh,
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And again, these are people that are coming up against it.
Right.
I'm not somebody who's going to be like, it's awesome, but these are people that are really pissed at them.
yeah, good.
As they should be. As they should be.
Yes. I don't know if that was the standard. I don't know if there's a pamphlet or whatever,
Right.
but the cult even had these books they would put out. Maybe they still do. I don't know. That if you do their homeschooling program through this, you will graduate high school pre-med or pre-law.
Right.
Spoiler, you don't. You can't.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Uh-huh.
Right? And it's just fascinating the depths of some of this.
I wonder if this here would cause some of these networks that have reality shows to like do a little bit more vetting, right? Because I'm sure that the Learning Channel, Discovery, whatever, I'm sure they didn't know that all these atrocities were happening, or else they wouldn't have put them on the air. Surely, or maybe they did and they just overlooked it because of ratings. I don't know.
I think you may be on to something there.
Yeah. I always said they should do more research behind the scenes on some of these people and do more background checks. There was a guy years ago on an MTV dating show that had been accused of rape and then later murdered a woman. And he was actually on a dating show.
Yeah, but the problem with that mindset is what about the people that were accused of rape and never did anything bad again?
Right.
So just because that happened to you doesn't mean you're a really horrible individual, right? Was it Ted Kaczynski? Ted Bundy was on the dating game or whatever.
Yes.
So what's the threshold that would trigger somebody to not be on a TV show?
Right. There'd have to be like, I say convictions or whatever, obviously. like just word of like, hey, I hear that this person was accused of. It wasn't convicted or accused of. I don't think that would slow things down a little bit. But like with what was it? Honey Boo Boo's stepdad? Was it stepdad? Real dad? Whatever, got popped for molestation or some jive like that a couple of years back.
But okay, then what about Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Right.
He was in jail for, I forget what it was.
Well, they
but
thought his story was so interesting because he turned his life around, because of what he did.
Because it's got a happy ending on the end, it's fine.
Exactly.
No,
he became a bounty hunter.
Again, so what if somebody goes on the show and then gets married and like, so what's the threshold?
Yeah.
It's a hindsight thing you look back on.
Right. Well, that's it. No more reality TV.
Well,
just
and
cancel them all.
That was the other part is they were trying to figure out TV shows. Was it during the writer's strike? I forget. And they came out, they were like, wow, this is a really cheap show. They point to this show as one of the really first reality shows, self-filmed, reality shows because it was low production value. And they didn't have to put a lot of effort into anything. And they go into how the network kind of pushed it out there. And even when it comes out that they knew that he had touched those kids, sisters, before the show was even started.
Ooh.
And then when it all came to the forefront and whatever, and they explain how some of this happens, and they were trying to save it, and they couldn't, and they agreed on following the older sisters who didn't live in the house anymore.
So they still keep the name, keep the branding, but get away from the bad spot of it.
How gross.
Well, they just don't put that person on camera, right? But what they represent, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
Right? There's something underneath. It's not the plant that grows. It's the soil that grows the plant type of thing. But so they were still propagating it and all that. And these people, like, she's trying to have their 20th kid and they announce it and it's all exciting. And then if they lose the kid because she shouldn't be having kids at that age and her body is just
I'm done.
Destroyed. Yeah. From 19 kids. Probably more than that because we don't know what the things are.
Yeah.
And how he found her when she was underage. Dude, it is
a red flag right
It
there.
is trippy to watch that. And I've discussed before, and I think Lindsay feels the same. Cult stuff is extremely fascinating to me.
How people get into it and get sucked into it.
Yeah, and the borderline of what a cult is. Right? If you could argue, and I'm just using this example, I'm not saying it is, you could argue a group of people that meet in an open field and throw some little disc is a cult.
It's a cult, yeah.
If you have one person you follow and you take what they say as gospel and you do that,
right,
regardless of the information, you could argue it is. Someone who follows a football team.
Yeah.
Right? It isn't, lots of things are cults, but typically we only use that word when something really bad is happening.
Well, yeah. Branch Davidians.
Yeah.
These people here.
Yeah. But a cult can be many, many things. Your Thursday night bowling league.
Yeah.
Thursday night bowling cult. I like that. I like that.
Could be a band. All right, we got tickets to Nickelback, who are going to be in town on September 21st with Brantley Gilbert at the BOK Center. Tickets on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Best and worst of the weekend. Our listeners are awesome. Jeff Hensley will join us in more qualifying for golf and beer for a year. We'll be back. Stomach and basil.
Yes, the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball. Ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1.
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on, or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
like a bun, you know. I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
Fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh,
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh God!
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big 10 of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
A short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why? Big Bang Theory is a giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Young Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other dorks.
Doesn't matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever his
I don't
name
even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured you would be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again, I think the Connors came way late, like almost at the very end.
The Big Bang?
Of Big Bang, yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage daughter, something like that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the name of it. And, I had to check it. That was 16. A good series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter is, arbitrary.
Infinite.
This guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right, here we go. All right.
That you found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta there better be at some point you play that out, right?
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place in Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne, right? They had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
That's right.
Like, you can get in here, you racist bitch. All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Use your hands on my daughter and you'll lose them after. That's rule number 1.
John Ritter is hardly that guy.
Right?
Really?
He might be the nicest character ever on any show, ever.
But that's what they want us to believe.
I think only one time he played a character that was really bad, evil.
Okay.
He mostly was the good golly gee guy.
Wow, even on Problem Child, he was a good dad.
Yeah. He was like, he could have been on the SNL. Like he was a, what do they call it when a comedian, they like hurt themselves and stuff like that? He's that type of comedian.
Okay. Like Chris Farley was, where
Farley,
he'd fall over on tables and it wouldn't bother him any at all.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to believe. Maybe deep down inside, he's really just a mean
Sure,
asshole.
who he is off screen is, but we're talking about the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time, but you get that 1% that's never shown.
But it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy.
Right.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News Quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want to know more, facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Man nearly loses leg to flesh-eating disease after getting bit in a fight. Donnie Adams, a 53-year-old funeral assistant from the Tampa suburb of Riverview, Florida, went to the emergency room in mid-February to treat a bump the size of a dollar coin on his upper left thigh. What had happened was he was rushed to the operating room at HCA Florida Northside Hospital in St. Petersburg, February 19th. He says family's everything. Sometimes things go down in families. I'm a man of faith. People can be forgiven, and that's the way I feel about that. It was a family event that went sour between two people. And even though I got in the middle of it and I got injured, it doesn't mean I'm going to hate my family over this. He was breaking up a fight. And when he pulled them apart, he felt the pain and he saw teeth marks. Yeah. When he went to the hospital the first time, he was sent home with a tetanus shot and antibiotics, but the injury got worse over the next few days, becoming red, swollen, and painful to the touch. His thigh, the doctor says, almost looked like an orange peel because of the swelling that was underneath it. Dr. Fritz Brink was the one that treated him. He said by day number 3, the leg was swollen. It felt warm to the touch. It had problems with mobility and everything. And it was sustained because of this bite mark. The bite mark, they called it, was flesh-eating disease or necrotizing fasciitis, life-threatening condition that can be caused by a variety of different strains of bacteria, including group A strep and other bacteria found in water, dirt, or saliva. It enters the body through a break in the skin, such as a cut, scrape, or burn, insect bite, or open wound. And from there, it just invades and kills your tissue. How crazy, though. So anyways, if he wouldn't have taken care of it and didn't take it seriously, he would have lost his leg. He's doing fine now. He had to, they removed 60% of the skin in front of his left thigh to stop the infection from spreading. And the man had to use a walker for about a month after his release from the hospital. And now he's walking pain-free without a limp.
If you're the family member who bit him and realized you gave him a flesh-eating bacteria, do you think you're a dirty person?
Definitely.
Can be.
I would think so. If not, everybody else is going to think you're a dirty person. As she's sitting here reading this, I'm like, do they not brush their teeth ever?
I'm wondering, like, what was in his mouth?
Yeah, I mean, if you brush your teeth once a day, I guess you've got 23 hours and 59 other minutes where crap is in your mouth.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All he did is just try to break up a fight.
Come on now.
Right.
Lesson learned.
Goddamn.
Stay out of it.
I was hoping they'd show pictures of his wounds.
Yeah, if you click on the link, you can see his scar. But
I didn't see a link.
Kind of gnarly.
Yeah. I didn't see a link on
Got that part. Father popped for street racing with kids in the car. This happened last Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Hey, man. You never turned it. What are you, chicken?
Highway Patrol in Florida spotted a BMW and an Infiniti speeding down the interstate, weaving in and out of traffic. Well, and cop lights them up, and the BMW kept on going, but the Infiniti stopped. When the officer got up there, he noticed the smell of fresh marijuana coming from the car. And in the back of 24-year-old DeMarcus Glover's car was an 11-month-old baby and a 3-month-old child still asleep in the back seat.
Or high,
passed out, baked. They found an empty firearm casing in the passenger floorboard. They continued to search. They found an empty unloaded handgun underneath the seat. They found 13.5 grams of weed in 3 separate bags. They went ahead and arrested old DeMarcus here for child neglect, racing on the highway, possession of paraphernalia, and possession of the weeds.
I mean, have you ever raised kids and street raced on weed?
Yeah, right.
Hey, man, take your kid to work day. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, right.
Good God, man. I mean, he's a kid. He's got 2 kids. He's a kid having kids.
I get it.
Teacher on leave after sex lesson.
Uh-oh.
Anatomy physiology teacher at Southern California High School is on administration leave following a controversial anatomy lesson. A secretly recorded video reportedly shows the teacher at El Dorado High discussing sexual pleasure involving different body parts, sex toys, and where to buy them. Several parents believe the lesson was too explicit for the classroom. The video posted last week on social media now has over 1 million views. The Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District identified the teacher as Judy "You Bitch" Ruberg. After being placed on leave, the Instagram account was set up for her. Those in support of the teacher believe the video was taken out of context and that she was simply answering students' questions.
We're having sex, little lady.
And she does have a YouTube where she's done other anatomy, physiology things. They all got about like 200-300 views. This one's got over 1 million.
Wow.
And I'm just saying that, like, I get a parent's concern that maybe it was too much. 1, they were in high school.
Right.
2, I don't know what she was saying that maybe they weren't saying in their circles. Is it just because it's uncomfortable for parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, but saying, like, talking about sex toys and where to buy them, probably not appropriate.
Why not?
I don't. Again, it just feels
Because it's uncomfortable as a parent?
Yeah.
Because they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Would you rather them just go figure it out on their own?
No, but that doesn't seem like it seems like more of a conversation that should be had with a permission slip.
I mean, if you sign a
First.
permission slip that there's going to be sex ed
Yeah.
at some point, which is stupid,
right,
at the high school level, and they do Q&A, what are they supposed to do when a kid's like, can you tell us about sex toys?
right. Where can I get a 15-inch dildo? First of all, Tommy, you don't need that big.
I think maybe that's where their mind goes.
I think that's probably where the problem was, because they were talking about sex toys. If it was part A goes into part B, very basic stuff wouldn't be a big deal. But they're talking about dildos and vibrators and, where to buy them and how much they are. Whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there for the course, but maybe that's the point to where they're like, and I'm like, okay, whatever it is. The kids are old enough.
Yeah.
It's not like
they're in high school.
Right. It's not like she was teaching this to elementary
right.
or middle school kids.
Right.
I'm sure they're close 16 to 18 years old. They already know.
Yeah.
I just don't see what the big offense is here. I just don't.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Is she showing them how to use these things? Giving demonstrations? Yeah. It doesn't feel.
Yeah, it's a video. One.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I'm just curious of are you embarrassed that your kids now know about this?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you weren't the one to.
You're not the one.
Yeah.
No parent, I don't think, at least that I know of, goes out and be like, so this is what a vibrator is, and this is what it does, and this is where you get it. If there is the talk, because most parents leave it up to the schools anyway, it's very basic. Part A goes into part B.
Well, and not only that, we as parents we make it stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Time to talk about the birds and bees.
Mm-hmm. There's no birds and bees.
There's none. None at all.
Whatsoever.
And if you are, that's more offensive.
That's just weird.
All these stories are on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's Morning Show. 97.5 KMOD. KMOD.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It happened when we went to Skytook and we jumped off of the little cliffs. And it happened to my husband, and he said it was very painful. It happened to me when I jumped, and then when I landed, I got the biggest welt and bruise on the side of my leg.
Well,
and
what does that have to do with the water?
It all hurts.
So hitting the water hurts.
Yes.
Okay. You know what an enema is, right?
Yes.
What is an enema? I need to hold on.
Yes.
What is an enema?
The water entering
your butt.
Your butt. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Because you're talking about a couple different things, and I just want to make sure we're understanding your story correctly. Because you're talking about bruises and the water hurts when you hit it. That I'll agree with 100%.
Yes.
But an enema, water entering your butt, that's a new story to me. I've never heard of such a thing. And you're saying, you and your husband, this has happened to you.
Yep. Hit the water just right. That's what happens.
Are you sitting as you jump into the water?
Yeah, right.
And pushing out?
You land just, yes, exactly.
Yeah, but come on. Unless you're, jumping with your cheeks spread open, there ain't no way. And even then, it just ain't gonna happen. That thing's watertight for a reason.
That's what it feels like. It hurts.
I saw a Dallas Cowboy fan video from the other night when they lost, and he threw something, broke his TV, started punching his TV. It fell down, pulled out his gun, and started shooting the TV.
Oh, my goodness.
And here's the thing about all that. They still lost. It didn't change anything.
No. So now you're out of television.
Yeah.
And you discharged a weapon in city limits.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a charge in itself right there.
You're at a friend's house. Okay. Because I know you're not a huge football fan.
Yeah.
But you watch football.
Yeah, I'll go over there, hang out, drink some beers.
Your girl loves football.
Yeah, she loves it. Yes. I like it.
And matter of fact, Gimpy initiated a text to tease me about the Chiefs game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. I can take it. I'm fine with that.
It's just unexpected coming from me.
Yeah, not normal.
Yeah.
But still awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, come over, watch the game.
Okay, bet, man.
We watched the game.
Yeah,
we got
man.
beers, whatever. We're having fun. The game goes south. Patrick Mahomes chokes. Ooh, wish he did.
He did. He threw that ball right at that fool,
choked.
too.
He pushed a pass. Anyway, I digress. And he throws the interception. I chuck my beer at the TV. I start punching the TV. You don't even know I'm packing. I pull out my gun and start shooting the TV. And I son of a bitch.
Yeah. What's my next plan of action?
Is it safe to say you probably will not come back over to watch a football game at my house?
I am definitely. Well, I might. Oh, shoot.
Totally,
no, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, it's a pretty extreme violent situation for a guy who's not violent.
For you. I was even going to say, even if my best of friends did that, I'd be like, all right, I'll give you one more shot. If you pull out your gun a second time and start shooting a television over a goddamn football game, I am definitely never coming back. Not for football, not for Parcheesi, not for no goddamn win, lose, or draw.
I ain't playing Monopoly with you, bitch.
No, because I could be the television. I'm not taking that chance. I would give you one more opportunity, because you're not the guy that kind of, just flies off the handle like that. That's a one-off.
If it happens, pretty violent.
If it happens again, I'm like, all right, something's going on. Now, I'll tell you this. You pull out your gun, you start shooting a television, I'm not going to be sticking around for much longer.
Right, the party is over.
Pretty much. Even if the game,
we're not watching the second game.
No. I gotta go. I got to go vacuum my lawn. See you in the morning. No.
It's weird to see grown men
get
that angry about something they have no part in.
Right.
Of other grown men playing a kid's game, getting paid a king's ransom. To get that mad. And I'm not saying you're not invested and you can't be a fan. Right? I get it. It's been your team forever.
Right.
You've been there for the ups and downs. But getting mad, I'll accept throwing a beer.
Sure.
That I'm like, emotions get the best of you.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Sure, why not?
You threw a beer, walked 10 feet, punched a television multiple times. Then it fell. You then made a movement towards your waist, knowing what was there.
Right.
Unholstered.
Or
unwaistbanded, I guess.
Right.
And then fired not once, not twice, not 3 times, multiple shots. You had plenty of chances as adult to control your emotions.
Yeah.
There is no way this individual that I saw in that video does not beat his wife.
Oh,
exactly.
Has to, man.
That is, your ass is out of here. Go stay in a hotel.
I think, okay, I love your thought. When do you do that?
When do you tell him to leave?
Oh, as soon as he punches the TV. What are you thinking?
So you're going to try and yell at him while he's shooting the television? At what point, when someone's acting that way, do you intercept, Lindsay?
Yeah, because clearly this isn't the first time. This isn't the first outburst.
They just got boxes of TVs lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Especially as a Cowboys fan.
This clearly wasn't the first time. So before that's happened, you would do it.
We're talking about this instant. No, we're talking about this instance. Okay. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to the phone number 82945. I watched ORU baseball the other night. What was that? That would have been Tuesday night or Wednesday night. And they played Oregon in their first game. And they got 8 runs in like the second inning. And totally messed that up and lost that first game, right? And the tweet that I saw online that was so funny was that ORU just, I don't even know if I can say it because it's so tongue-in-cheek. Basically, it's some about how much they sucked and also a reference to the size of a duck because they are the Oregon Ducks and how much they lost. And so funny. But then they won the next 2. And so they're going on to the World Series, College World Series for the first time since 1978.
Good for them.
So pretty exciting to watch. And then Wake Forest scored 22 runs yesterday. It was, dude, the number of home runs was insane that I watched in that game yesterday. I'm not a college baseball fan. It was just on. And I couldn't believe the number of home runs that Wake Forest was hitting in that park.
It was juice.
Maybe those aluminum bats, man. Ding, ding, just over and over, man. It was insane to watch. But congratulations to ORU.
And the Denver Nuggets are 1 win away from their first NBA championship. The Nuggets will host the Miami Heat at Ball Arena tonight for Game 5 of the 2023 NBA Finals. The Nuggets enter with a 3-1 series lead after winning both games in Miami. The Nuggets defeated the Heat 108-95 in Game 4 on Friday to give themselves a chance to close out the series on their home court. Miami guard Tyler Herro has yet to be cleared in his return from a broken hand and has already been ruled out for the contest. Denver star center Nikola Jokic said that the Nuggets are going to approach it as a must-win game.
No kidding.
Yeah. Teams that have gone up 3-1 in the NBA Finals have an all-time record of 35-1. The Celtics continue to make additions to their coaching staff. According to ESPN, Boston is finalizing a deal to hire Charles Lee as its lead assistant coach. Lee has been an assistant for former coach Mike Budenholzer for the past 9 seasons, including the past 4 with the Milwaukee Bucks. The 38-year-old ascended to Milwaukee's top assistant job with the departure of Darvin Ham to the Los Angeles Lakers last year. And the Rockies are losing their right fielder for more than a month. Colorado placed Charlie Blackmon on the 10-day injured list after he was diagnosed with a fractured right hand. Blackmon injured his hand on June 3rd against the Kansas City Royals, but continued to play in through the injury. The Rockies did additional x-rays over the weekend and found the fracture. The 36-year-old outfielder is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks due to the injury. And 6 programs have punched their ticket to the College World Series. Top seed Wake Forest swept 16th seeded Alabama in Winston-Salem over the weekend to lock up their spot in Omaha. In a pair of SEC matchups, 2 seed Florida swept South Carolina, while 5th seeded LSU advanced with a sweep of Kentucky. 7th seeded Virginia booked its spot in the CWS with a 3-game takedown of Duke in Charlottesville. And TCU swept 14 seed Indiana State, and Oral Roberts prevailed over Oregon in 3 games. The final 2 spots in the tournament will be locked up today. Texas visits Stanford, while Southern Miss hosts Tennessee in Game 3 of the Super Regional Round. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. In the kids' room or like an outdoor TV, right there with you. If it's the main TV in the living room, though, oh, no.
Oh, how about this? Someone's like, what if it's at your house? Like you invite me over to watch the game and I shoot the TV.
There is so much going on in that situation. 1, you owe me a new TV, brah. 2, we're not friends anymore.
You can't shoot a gun in my house.
I'm calling the cops immediately. And if you try to run off before the police get there, I'm telling them everything. I'm rolling right on over. I'm telling them everything about you. Because now you've destroyed my house. It's one thing to destroy your own property, but you come into my house and you start firing guns.
And why do you gotta carry a gun to a watch party?
Right.
Because you never know.
Sure.
Home invasions happen, Corbin.
Sure.
In the middle of football games.
No, listen, even robbers know there's nothing to take at a Cowboys fan house. I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase.
Mm-hmm.
You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. Bye.
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the 2 we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition, and I can't accept that I've lost,
right?
Or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. Said that.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have either. Not like to anybody in particular. Like, I'm at, bar, restaurant. You know who I am?
Right.
No. But like in a joking matter.
Telling a story?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know who I am?
No, you're right.
Come on.
And I've been with people that have said it and it makes me cringe. Like where they've said, do you know who this is? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Next couple are going to sting. It is what it is.
Oh, that's my fave. That is my absolute fave.
I will validate that is annoying to hear. Well, actually.
Ugh. Those come in on a lot of texts on here.
Yeah.
Actually.
And on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
Nope.
Again, another phrase that people use to excuse behavior.
Right.
Yes.
I always keep it real, and a lot of people can't handle the truth I speak.
That's just a way of saying I'm an asshole.
Totally. I've said that line.
Mm-hmm.
That's problematic. I don't find that one annoying.
No.
That's an observation you're making. You're not critiquing anybody. You're like, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. You can see something on the horizon, like this is going to cause some issues. Yeah.
I need to speak to a manager.
Hi, Karen. I've never had to say that.
I can't, upon reflection, like with not in the moment of a fly in my soup or whatever, I can't think of a reason I need to speak to the manager.
No. It's simple. I just won't come back to X place, wherever it is.
Agreed.
There's nothing me speaking to the manager will fix.
No.
It is strictly an ego move.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know you've heard me.
Right.
I need to believe you're going to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Not to play the devil's advocate, but show's based off that theory. Trust the science. I've heard that too.
Right.
I'm just an aggressive person. I have a lot on my mind.
I'm an asshole, and I need to get all this out.
Full stop.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard that. Why are you such in a bad mood? Bitch, when I'm in a bad mood, and you go, why are you such in a bad mood? Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Just stay. Don't even ask.
Right.
Or when they think that you're in a bad mood. Why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy? I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it. I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side, if someone, like, shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm concerned for your mental well-being, man. Sorry. Next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Got a lot
Full stop.
Is there another way to come at someone like that? If you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in a person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've seen those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have no idea where we're going to eat.
What's the reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right.
I think I've pushed the button enough.
Fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, "Where are we eating dinner tonight?" I'm like, "Just look for the sign."
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're gonna eat.
Right, because the sign says
I know,
gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're
I
family.
know.
Okay.
This is
Trying
awesome.
to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you
Right.
work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic
Right.
that you must pronounce to the world that you do.
Uh-huh.
Well, then your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
You should just.
you should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same line.
You need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was
Must
thinking
be
of more like,
nice.
you must be nice.
No. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet? You know, it must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that.
Mm,
Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
Right. Then you stop at the gas station to take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh,
Hear me out.
no.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy ass.
Because I said so. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when
Mhm.
you're trying to shape a young mind,
Mhm.
it gives no context. You don't learn from. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Qualifying people for golf and beer for a year. Listen every hour to get qualified for a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for two at Birdie Bay every month for the next year. And Richard Bowers of Tulsa heard the cue and is now in the running. Another chance coming up very soon. It's all from Corona Premier Light Beer and Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. All right, best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then whatever that is to 82945. Lindsay, what's the best and what's the worst?
Well, the best of the weekend for me, moving into our new home. It's amazing.
Hooray!
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, very exciting time. It doesn't feel real. Going from a small 1,600 square foot home to a big 3,600 square foot home just seems like we're on vacation.
That's damn near 1,000 more square feet than my home.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy.
Who's got the McMansion now?
It's nuts. I'm really sore today. My body aches, but it's worth it. Totally worth it. I would say the worst part of the weekend was on Friday, driving away from my old place. I kind of had a little breakdown, bawled my eyes out like a little baby.
Right, because it's different than when you left town because you know you can get rid of the house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 15 years we had that place and lived there for
15 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you lived there how many years?
13 of them. And I just thought of everything. It was, like a movie going through my head really quick, bringing home all 3 babies to that house and just all the memories just flashing through my head. And it was all over, saying goodbye. It was a great house to us. It was just
not great
too
enough.
small, just too small. Yeah. Yeah. So, that was a sad moment, but also at the same time, it's like now we're moving on and making new memories.
Are you all unpacked?
I would say we're about 65, 70% there.
Here's a question. How do you decide where the cups go? And that's more like a broad question. It's not a specific question. I'm just using that as an example. How do you stand at the kitchen and go, this is where this goes?
It's so hard to do that.
I think so.
Thankfully, a girlfriend of mine was there helping me unpack, and she made that decision for me.
Oh, gosh, that sounds horrible.
No, honestly.
Oh, my anxiety.
Honestly, she had put the coffee maker out on the counter, and
appropriate.
And she had just put the coffee cups above the coffee maker. And I was like, oh, that works out perfectly, So there they were in this cabinet.
Do you have to put all the cups where the coffee cups are?
So I just placed the cups. I'm like, here's where these cups are. So I may as well put my glass cups next to the coffee cups on the other side of the cabinet. So that worked. It worked out perfect. Yeah. But that is so hard.
Where do you put the silverware?
To make. Yes.
Does that go next to the stove? Or because some people say the glasses go next to the refrigerator.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, there's no right answer. I'm just asking because I think it's a really crazy philosophical question.
See, next to the refrigerator, there is a cabinet that has the glass doors on it. So that's where I stuck all the wine glasses and the pretty glasses,
Clear glasses through a clear glass. Okay, sure.
You want to see the pretty stuff through the clear glass doors.
Do you designate a drawer as a junk drawer?
Yes, absolutely. I have to have a junk drawer.
Really?
I do.
Here's my philosophy on junk drawers. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have one. Then you don't have a reason to collect junk.
That's is true. Point. But for me, it's more of it's not so much of a junk drawer. It's more of a drawer that has the
give it a different name.
Drivers or your pens.
Yeah, it's a catch-all.
Yeah.
It's a junk drawer.
Mm-hmm.
You're just giving it a different name to make yourself feel better about it.
Yes, absolutely. But it is pretty organized for a junk drawer.
Where do you put silverware? What drawer?
It's underneath the cabinet with all the plates and bowls.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That's a logical answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where that is.
Because some say next to the stove.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not too far away from the stove.
Because you go to do an Airbnb or whatever, you stand, you're like, because you don't know where anything is because it's not your place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there should be a universal place.
Yeah.
Where silverware goes. So you just know, we stayed at an Airbnb in Colorado and it I would think it'd be next to the stove.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was next to the sink.
Oh.
Yeah, it made no sense. And plates were nowhere near the stove.
Yeah.
And nowhere near the sink. Nowhere near. They were on the opposite, dishwasher, and you turn and they were right there. And you're like, well, this makes no sense.
See, in this one, there's 2 drawers next to the stove, and they're kind of smaller. So one of them is a spice drawer for spices, which to me was perfect. Because that's handy.
Yeah. That feels pretty easy. Yeah.
And the other one was for your oven mitts and stuff. So perfect.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Gimpy, what's the best and what's the worst?
Best part would be riding in the Bedouin Shrine poker run on Saturday. Last year I did it as part of an endorsement and had so much fun last year. Decided to go ahead and pay up and do it this year. And it was awesome. It's, for one, they're great people down there at the shrine. All right. 2, the ride is just amazing. I mean, from Muskogee to Tahlequah over to Cookson, down to Fort Gibson, all the way around the lake, through the twists and the turns. It was a really awesome ride. The worst part of it would be the weekend was just having a rain delay because of it. Registration started at 9, but they were really cool and they pushed it back until 11 or noon. Their deadline, pushed it back until noon so people can wait out the rain or whatever. So we got a little bit later start than what we wanted to, but we still ended up going, and And it was nice and cool. It wasn't screaming hot. Last year, it was screaming hot, but because that rain came through, it cooled everything down. And once the rain was gone, it was just beautiful skies and nice, cool temperatures. And boy, you couldn't ask for a better day riding for sure.
Yeah. What's the worst then?
That was the rain.
Oh, the rain. Right. Yeah. Somebody texted in, and I can't stop thinking about it, so I got to comment on it. Cups, plates, and silverware go closest to the dishwasher. Easy unloading. No, that's stupid. Because wouldn't you want it closest to where you're cooking for easiest usage?
You would think.
Yeah.
Either way, that's 50% true.
Right.
Because you also use it to eat, and easy unloading, that's like one thing.
Yeah, it's all right there. Boom, boom. I get that.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best part of the weekend and the worst part of the weekend? 918-460-KMOD. Or you can text it BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Best part of the weekend is we went to Colorado and up in the mountains with some friends, and it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how beautiful it is. And the GoPro mountain games were going on.
Okay.
Yeah. And they had like whitewater rafting.
Cool.
But in it's not whitewater rafting. It's like they're little kayaks, but they do like flips and stuff right there in one spot.
Okay.
And they manipulated the river to create the best, whatever. And then they had like all different types of things, but they had that. And then they had a thing called slack rope competition.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks like some Cirque du Soleil type of thing where these people stand on a rope and balance on it and then jump and flip and do somersaults and doubles and triples. And it's insane. And it was they were doing that demonstration right by a brewery. So I sat there and we drank some beer and just watched them do this for like 4 hours. It was crazy. And all I could think about was, how do you get into that?
Yeah.
Because the people that participated look like they like a lot of patchouli, and they know they get the best weed and shrooms. Right. That's all I could decipher judging on appearance.
Right. Very crunchy hippie vibe.
Yeah.
They didn't want real jobs.
I mean, I don't know about all that,
They're
but
flexible.
Yeah. But how do you get into that? Do you just one day you're tripping shrooms and you're like, man, I bet I can balance on that rope. I bet I can do. I just couldn't figure out how you get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just travel all over America doing this?
Yeah, if they're going to pay you for it, why the hell not?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Right?
Is there a slack rope shoe company that's like, hey, man, we think you've done good, Freedom, and we think you would do really well on the tour? But it was crazy to watch people do that over and over. And they set up their own rope, like brought in these cement blocks and did it right there in the middle of this city square thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a complete trip.
Apparently, this is a TV show, the GoPro Mountain Games.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said, because I've never heard of this before. So I Googled it, and it's the GoPro Mountain Games. Started in 2013. It's in its 6th season. Yeah. And okay, cool.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do downhill mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mud runs. There's like a fly fishing thing. There's like all types of stuff that would happen. It drip in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's very appropriately titled.
How was the weather?
It was stunning. In the morning, it would be like 40, and during the day, it would get up to like 78.
That ain't bad.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable weather. Just, I needed to buy a jacket.
Yeah. Oh.
That's how cold it was.
Nice.
Perfect.
In the morning, because I like to go do stuff in the morning because I get up before it. It was stunning.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time. Perfect weather. I was like, could I move here? And then I was like, I don't want to work in Vail radio. Better not say that too loud. I might get ostracized today. Worst part of the weekend would be the Saturday before we left. So a week ago, last Saturday, I torqued my back pretty bad. And I'm still dealing with it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's not fun pain. And I don't know if it feels muscular.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like structural.
Okay.
So that's good news, but I'm still having like trouble turning my neck and stuff.
I need to go to one of those massage parlors, or
like a foot massage place?
Sure, yeah, exactly. Just tell them where it hurts and they'll rub it for you.
I don't want to go to a rub and tug. No desire at all. Best of the weekend, I finally had a full weekend off work. Bad, found my step-grandma passed out in her living room, drunk full of vomit.
Ooh.
Grandma?
Is she still alive?
Oh. Right.
People die, getting drunk and choking on their own vomit. So I hope Gam Gam's all right.
Dude, if I went over to a loved one's house and they're passed out on the floor and vomited, I'd be like, come on, man.
Is that only after a certain age, though?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because 20s, 30s, you can kind of see it.
Not 30s.
20s, I'll allow. 30s, you get one pass.
Yeah. After 25, it's come on, man.
Okay. I'm going to go 29, and then at midnight, you get one.
But like in your, mid 50s, 60s, kids are grown up, out of the house. You may be divorced and living on your own. So don't you get a pass then? Because you spent your entire adult life raising children and molding young people.
You didn't.
No,
you didn't. That is just an excuse people make to act like a fool.
Do you get one midlife crisis pass?
No, I'm not a midlife crisis pass person.
Okay.
No, you're an adult.
What if it's a she cheated on me and left me, took the dog, took the house, and you were, feeling bad and got wasted.
Yeah. Sure, like a life event thing. Sure. Okay.
That's one pass.
I mean, I don't call that a pass. That's a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A pass is it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't get a mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best got to visit my grandparents at the lake. Worst, got massive headaches Saturday night and was nauseous all night. That's horrible. Worst, I had to bury one of my best friends this weekend. Best, I got all my other friends in one place for the first time in a decade. It was nice to see everyone.
How many times did you have to hear, sorry, under these circumstances?
Oh, no. I think how many times do you have to hear, we should do this more often?
Right.
Ooh.
Right. Under different circumstances.
Right.
Under different circumstances. All right. We got tickets we're going to give away to see Nickelback. They're going to be in town on September 21st at the BOK Center. Tickets on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Live Nation. We'll do that giveaway when we come back.
So what
Don't
she
have sex
wants
with
him
other
to do-
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
Give
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Okay. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has to be even.
Fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even. Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know. You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
Yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time, so I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state, so I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you came back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity, trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping.
Mm-hmm.
You were hoping he'd look at you.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're not really cheating at that point, are you, Scott? You're not.
Well, you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that, like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings. I'm going to bed at 9. Like,
yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
that's where we're at.
No, I don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, If she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope. Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right. Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is, too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you don't
to look
do
through the
that.
medicine kit. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying it gives a vibe.
Why?
Because you're nosy. You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes everything.
Or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's play a game. As announced last week, Nickelback is going to be in town on September 21st at the BOK Center. It's on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. LiveNation.com. Nickelback will be here with Brantley Gilbert, and I actually spoke with Chad Kroger last week or a couple weeks ago. And so I will play part of the conversation I had with him after we play our game, which we like to call 10, 20, 30.
That's right. A 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so, hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth. Right, if you walk into somebody's house,
if you're a
it looks
hoarder,
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house.
Oh,
right?
no. You can read a hoarder a mile away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering,
or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever, paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Because you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dress for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza. Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped seeing them at is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
People go crazy. It's a good show. It's nonstop. He interacts with the crowd. Like he looks like he's having fun. And this interview was the same way. He was glad to be there. We chatted about a couple things. And I'm only going to play a bit of it. And I'm going to play the part where I ask him some speed round questions, like our famous, what's the best thing you bought on Amazon?
I love Nuno Betancourt. He's a friend of mine. He's played on Nickelback albums before.
I should stop that. I asked him as Mount Everest or Mount Rushmore of guitarists. Yeah, so let me do that.
The dude is just like, Flight of the Bumblebee. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. I hate playing guitar solos because like I'm just so tired of recycling the 10 licks that I know. But
I don't think you're being fair.
Angus Young.
Sure.
When it comes to singable, the solo can also be just as much of a hook as something else in the song that's also catchy that sticks in your head, right? So if just lowest common denominator, if we go to You Shook Me All Night Long, you can sing every note of that guitar solo, right? You know what I mean? Like, Slash, you can sing every note to, when he goes into Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, like every single note, right? Like that type of thing where these like that's all he's doing. He's just singing through his guitar, and I love that. Like those people that are willing or able to, I should say, able to convey that type of emotion through the guitar. Oh, Mark Knopfler.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Favorite city besides the one you live in?
Tulsa.
You are a true businessman. I love it. Besides Tulsa.
London.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take London. I'll take London for 1,000, Alex.
What's your hidden talent?
I'm literally a jack of all trades and master of none. You know, do you remember when Howie Mandel had a bit back in the day and he did this thing called Bobby?
Oh, yeah.
I can do Bobby.
Let's hear it.
I can do Bobby.
What's the worst advice you've gotten as Nickelback?
Stop making music.
They were clearly wrong.
/ best advice.
Besides one of your own, what's one album people should listen to?
An album people should listen to. Zeppelin 2.
And last question, we ask everybody this. Best thing you bought on Amazon for under $50. Are you an Amazon guy?
Yeah. That's a good one. It's not I just bought a kayak. Like,
you bought a kayak on Amazon?
I literally just Amazoned a kayak. I swear to God.
The driver hates you.
What's that?
The driver hates you. You better have tipped him. You know, you can tell Alexa to tip the driver for you.
Yeah, buddy's just like, thanks, bro.
You can buy coffins on Amazon, so you never, yeah.
Oh, God. Here. Okay. All right. Here you go. I have purchased my own bootleg shit. There's like a wooden, I don't know what the hell it's. Yeah, it's like a wooden thing, and it's me holding up. It's what's supposed to be like the picture from Photograph.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to take your own actual picture and just put it in there. Yeah, I don't make those and I don't make money off them. And I like literally gave that guy, like, I think I ordered 3 of them because I thought it was going to be hilarious. Ordered them off of Amazon. It's so stupid.
There's no way the guy believed it was you buying them.
Yeah, I didn't Yelp him. So.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's Morning Show. 97.5 KMOD. KMOD Total Traffic Network.
This report is sponsored by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Get your smile back. Affordable Dentures and Implants in Catoosa makes new smiles affordable every day. Don't wait another day. Get your smile back. Visit them at 1875 North Old Highway 66 near Catoosa Family Pharmacy. Call 1-800-DENTURE. Affordable Dentures and Implants. Go ahead. Smile.
Checking travel times into downtown, 19 minutes from Broken Arrow, 18 from Skiatook, 21 from Collinsville, and 14 minutes from Owasso. I'm Steve Scott. Follow us on Twitter at Total Traffic TUL.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show, golf and beer for an entire year. KMOD and the Bmms hook you up with a case of beer and a round of golf or 2 every month for the next 12 months. Listen for the next cue to call and qualify to win at 8 a.m. From Corona Premier Light Beer in Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. More of the Big Mad Morning Show is next.
Go! Your music, your station, your podcasts. Always free on the iHeartRadio app. Tulsa's Rock Station. 97.5. KMOD.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights, 1 stage.
A weekend full of superstar performances.
An incredible lineup.
Foo Fighters.
Fall Out Boy.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kane Brown.
Lil Wayne.
Lenny Kravitz.
Miguel.
Public Enemy.
Sheryl Crow.
Tim McGraw.
TLC.
30 Seconds to Mars.
And more.
Never seen before collaborations.
And once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe. Streaming live only on Hulu Hulu.
Keep listening to Win Your Way There before you can even buy tickets.
Our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
Hey, it's Lindsay of the Big Mad Morning Show. For my friends at New Leaf Wellness, this is the time of year I love. When that heat starts rising, you know it's time to head out to the pool or to the lake. Get your boat out and your bathing suit on. But is your body bathing suit ready? If that's a hard no, call my friends at New Leaf Wellness and check out their Start Low and Go Slow weight loss program called semaglutide. It reduces your appetite, improves self-control, and in addition to reducing those food cravings, it improves your glycemic control. So what's that mean? It means you feeling good about getting back into a bathing suit and just having overall better health. You can do it. New Leaf Wellness can help. Call 918-921-4888. 918-921-4888. 918-921-4888. You've got nothing to lose except that belly fat. They offer discounts to all first responders, active military, and veterans. They take extra special care of our KMOD listeners, so be sure to tell them that Lindsay sent you.
The free Muskogee Nation Festival returns June 22nd through 25th at the Claude Cox Omniplex in Okmulgee. Friday night is Country Night with Cam at 7 p.m., Pat Green at 9 p.m. All activities and live concerts are free to attend. Enjoy cultural activities, sports tournaments, bull riding, great food, free carnival rides, and so much more. Remember, Friday, June 23rd is Country Night with Cam at 7 p.m., Pat Green at 9 p.m. More at MuskogeeNationFestival.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Tiger. At Tulsa Tech, we're committed to helping every student find success in the workplace. Today, companies right here in our area are looking for someone just like you. Turn your love of cars into a career, or take to the skies and let your earnings soar in aviation. Hands-on training from instructors with the know-how and have worked in the industry. If engines aren't your thing, we can train you to design, create, or fix just about anything. Why wait to start your new career? Make your own path today at Tulsa Tech.
Hey, it's Gimpy with the Big Man Morning Show for Verizon. Isn't it nice to be in control? Mm-hmm. Well, I want to introduce to you the new My Plan from Verizon. With My Plan, you pick only the perks you want and you save money on every one. So you're getting exactly what you want in your phone plan and only paying for what you need. All on Verizon's award-winning 5G network. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones into a Verizon store, you get My Plan for just $25 a line per month for 4 unlimited welcome lines with autopay, plus taxes and fees. Keep your current devices and save. Bring your phones to a Verizon store today and get My Plan for an amazing deal. $180 promo credit per phone applied over 36 months when you add 4 new smartphone lines with your own 4G, 5G smartphone on unlimited welcome. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Unlimited welcomes, $30 a line for 4 lines, less $5 a line discount. Autopay and paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G, 4G LTE. For unlimited welcome plan in times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data and roaming at 2G speeds.
Hello, Andrew here.
Andrew, it's Adam. I'm calling you back.
Well, it's about time.
I mean, it was just a couple minutes.
So there I was, driving these Oklahoma roads. You know how they are?
I mean...
And suddenly, out of nowhere, yet everywhere, potholes. Boom, boom, boom. Again and again and again. I blew a tire and I bottomed out. Why me?
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you need me to come get you?
No. There was a Robertson tire, like right there. It was the hero I needed. With 13 conveniently located Robertson tires around just about every corner, I was able to pull right in. They're getting me fixed up as we speak. Oh, and plus, they're changing my oil while they have it.
Oh, you're at Robertson Tire. Then why did you call me?
I just missed you, buddy.
I'm hanging up now.
Robertson Tire. Keep rolling with Robertson.
KMOD Total Traffic Network.
This report is sponsored by Mullen Plumbing. Mullen Plumbing knows that plumbing problems oftentimes turn into emergencies. So if you have a plumbing problem, Mullen will be there to help the same day you call, because plumbing problems can't wait and neither will you. Mullen Plumbing, the Red Rooter.
Checking travel times into downtown, 19 minutes from Broken Arrow, 18 from Skiatook, 21 from Collinsville, and 14 minutes from Owasso. I'm Steve Scott. Follow us on Twitter at Total Traffic TUL.
Taking a big stream on the World Wide Web on the coolest toys. Amazon Echo, Google Home, and your free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Tulsa Oilers football. Let's go! Indoor football is back at the BOK Center. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Visit TulsaOilersFootball.com for your tickets today. Tulsa's Rock Station, 97.5 KMOD.
It's the misery. I've been a mess since you stayed. I've been a wreck since you changed. Don't let me get in your way. I miss the lies and the pain, the fights that keep us awake. Hey, hey, I'm telling you, I miss the bad things, the way you hate me. I miss the scream and the way that you blame me. Miss the phone calls when it's your fault. I miss the late nights, don't miss you at all. I like that kick in the face. Everything you do to me, I love the way that it hurts. I miss you, I miss the misery. I've tried, but I just can't take it. I'd rather fight than just fake it. You know that I've had enough. I dare you to call my bluff. Can't take too much of a good thing. I'm telling you, I miss the bad things, the way you hate me. I miss the scream and the way that you blame me. Miss the phone calls when it's your fault. I miss the late nights, don't miss you at all. I like that kick in the face. Everything you do to me, I love the way that it hurts. I miss you, I miss the misery. Just know that I'll make you hurt. I miss the lies and the pain, what you did to me. When you tell me you'll make it work, I'd rather fight all night than watch the TV. I hate that feeling inside. You tell me how hard you'll try, but when we're at our worst, I miss the misery. Miss the bad things, the way you hate me. I miss the scream and the way that you blame me. I miss the rough sex, leaves me a mess. I miss the feeling of pain in my chest. Miss the phone calls when it's your fault. I miss the late nights, don't miss you at all. I like that kick in the face. Everything you do to me, I love the way that it hurts.
I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the name
that
of
was
it.
it.
And, I had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter is, arbitrary. This guy
Infinite.
needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the daughter?
I don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right, here we go. All right.
That you found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been widely known.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta there better be at some. So KMOD. You can also text BMMS. Then what you want to say to 82945. Jeff Hensley will join us at 9. If you have a question about divorce or custody or guardianship, he will be here to answer those questions. Right now, though, we got to see what is in Gimpy's 4x4.
Well, Colbin says here the U.S. man detained in Russia has been identified. An American citizen being detained in Russia has been identified as Michael Travis Lake. U.S. Embassy officials confirmed his identity and attended his arraignment on Saturday. Now, Russian court says that Lake was arrested on drug charges, accusing him of engaging in the narcotics business by attracting young people. According to Russian TV outlet, Lake is maintaining his innocence, saying he doesn't even know what he's being accused of. The former paratrooper and musician will remain in custody until at least August 6th of this year.
I'm not saying he is, because it feels like he's just some guy in a band.
Right.
But it's always interesting when there's a connection to some sort of military service.
Right.
And then they're getting detained. I don't know how a spy operates. I don't think spies are what we think they are. I think they look like average Joes.
Right.
And I don't think they're, have Corvettes with defibrillators in them and oil slicks and all that other stuff.
Right. Smoke screens and all that jive.
I think they collect information certain ways. And why can't a guy who's in a band be that person?
That makes sense. You're over there on tour anyway. Might as well see what kind of secrets you can get.
Can you imagine you're like at the merch table after a show and they're like, hey, man, you were in the military, right? Yes, we have an opportunity for you.
Okay.
And you're like, yeah, finally my break. Oh, God.
Says here that Trump is to deliver remarks tomorrow after his arraignment. His campaign confirmed that he'll host a fundraiser for his 2024 campaign at his golf club in Bedminster. Late last week, the Justice Department unsealed a 37-count indictment against him, alleging that he mishandled classified documents after leaving the office. The former president held a similar event in Mar-a-Lago back in April after his arraignment from the hush money case.
Have you seen the photos? They're like file boxes of whatever.
Right.
In like the bathroom.
Well, you got to put it somewhere.
I mean, he's a millionaire. Right. He's like, there's no storage facility.
What happened?
Just put him anywhere.
Right. He's probably
looks like Lindsay's house after she just moved in. Sorry.
He had to take a crap. He just sat him down, handled his business, and then, got up and played golf and forgot about him. Sure.
It's crazy, dude.
Or it is his bathroom reading material. Some people, have magazines. He's got classified documents. Just saying.
The Wi-Fi in bathrooms is always terrible. You got to read something.
Right.
Can't use your phone.
Right. What else we got here? Over 40 million Americans under a storm threat. Citizens from Denver down to Dallas and as far east as Charlotte may experience hail with winds up to 70 miles an hour and possible tornadoes. Some parts of the country, including Alabama and Georgia, are already getting pummeled by a line of intense storms that are pushing southeast. The bad weather may have moved from central Texas towards the Florida Panhandle. And then lastly here, rural Oklahoma communities receive iPads to assist with mental health. Oklahoma mental health agencies are cracking down on the epidemic of untreated mental health issues plaguing people across the state by distributing thousands of iPads to rural communities. It's to help ensure anyone suffering from a mental health episode can get immediate access to a doctor without traveling. The iPads are used to link people in crisis directly to mental health professionals without having to get in the car and drive to a physical doctor.
Okay, so it's not for Instagram. It's more for
pretty much
video. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Stop freaking out. Here's Candy Crush.
Yeah. They get more mad. They're like,
we're gonna need another iPad.
Right, smashing like Tom Brady. Pirates legend is celebrating a milestone. Andrew McCutchen earned his 2,000th major league hit during Pittsburgh's 2-1 victory over the Mets on Sunday. The outfielder scorched a leadoff single off Carlos Carrasco to become the fifth active player to reach 2,000 hits. Miguel Cabrera with the Tigers, the Reds, Joey Votto, San Diego's Nelson Cruz, and Elvis Andrus with the White Sox are the only other active players with 2,000 or more hits. McCutchen signed a one-year deal in the offseason to come back to the Pirates. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 90
and horrible acts of violence. The lethality of a female fatale is presented in book or film. She's most often portrayed as the manipulated victim of a dominant male. The reality concerning the gender of serial killers is quite different from the mythology of it. There have been many more male serial killers than females throughout history. The presence of female serial killers is well documented in crime data. We pointed that out when we did our list the other week. In fact, approximately 17% of all serial killer homicides in the U.S. are committed by women. Only 10% of total murders in the U.S. are committed by women. Therefore, relative to men, women present a larger percentage of serial murders than all the other homicide cases in the U.S. How about that? All serial killers are Caucasian. That is a myth as well. They span all racial and ethnic groups. The racial diversity of serial killers is generally mirrors that of the overall U.S. population.
Okay.
So they're not always white. All serial killers are isolated and dysfunctional loners. We're led to believe that, right? Like in the film Red Dragon, the Tooth Fairy serial killer. Real life serial killers are not the isolated monsters of fiction, and frequently they do not appear to be strange or stand out from the public in any meaningful way.
Look like normal everyday people.
Yeah.
I.e. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, exactly. John Wayne Gacy.
Fourth myth. All serial murderers travel widely and kill interstate. So that's not true. The most infamous serial killer, Ted Bundy, is the rare exception who traveled and killed interstate. Bundy twice escaped from police custody and committed at least 30 homicides in states of Washington, Utah, Florida, Colorado, Oregon, Idaho, California.
Yeah, I kind of guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're killing people, the bodies are going to start stacking up in your hometown. Right? So it's like, let's move around, try just not to get caught sort of thing.
Yes, but again, that's a myth that they mostly happen in a concentrated area. Fifth myth. All serial killers are either mentally ill or or evil geniuses.
Okay.
Think of like Dr. Hannibal Lecter. These stereotypes are not accurate. Instead, serial killers are much more likely to exhibit antisocial personality disorders such as sociopathy or psychopathy, which are not considered to be mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association. An examination of psychopathy and sociopathy and a discussion of the powerful connection between antisocial personality disorders and serial homicide is in a book that you can read more about that. I'm not going to think about like 7, like you think he's antisocial. That makes sense.
Right. Creepy, weird guy in the back.
Yeah.
Murders cats on the weekends because he's got nothing better to do.
So if it's if it's not a mental illness, then you would be able to stand a trial.
It's not a mental illness recognized.
Okay.
The wording there is really important.
Yeah.
It's not a mental illness recognized by the American Psychiatric Association, which probably goes to what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
Because if I say you're a psychopath, that seems okay, apparently.
Right. You say I'm a serial killer. Like, no.
Right.
Never.
So we'll find out more about this guy as the story comes out. But for them to enter, like, they were following him. They had a guy that thought was a suspect. They were following him. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Is he got to go? We got to go now.
Man.
Officer, Sergeant, we got to go. We got to go. What's happening? You're just supposed to watch him. No, man, he's got a mask and a gun. We think he's going to kill right now.
Well, it would suck if they, got the wrong person. And it was just some guy,
it's possible,
dressing up for like a early Halloween party or
a prank or something.
A prank or something like that. And
it's kind of a weird prank to put a gun in your pocket.
No kidding.
It is California, fake. And there are serial killers on the loose, Corbin.
Sure. How crazy would it be if they didn't catch him, but this was a different serial killer?
Oh my God, right? Totally kind of different killer by accident.
They didn't know.
Meanwhile, he still got this guy over here.
Right.
So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. They have to quell nervousness. So can you, they would have to come out and go, we didn't get him. This isn't the guy. Dude.
Oh my God.
Poof. People would lose their ass.
Oh yeah.
They would get overly anxious.
Yeah. Because just when you thought there was one roaming around, we'll come to find out now you got 2 of them roaming around.
Or if it's
and you got one and there's the other one still on the loose. Well, how many goddamn serial killers are out there just roaming around?
Or they announced that he can go. He can go free.
Right. Yeah.
What if you were wronging that guy and it was he's not a serial killer? Or, oh my gosh, he is a serial killer. And you're like, I know him. We got in an argument over the rice-a-roni.
I consider myself lucky then.
He comes into my diner. I serve him coffee every day.
Totally going to be those people. I saw yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, that in an interview with Bam Margera's family, he left a crazy message to them, and apparently they played it, and he's on the run.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he admitted legit he is on the run, running from
the police.
Yeah,
okay.
with a girl, her kid, and meth.
Some other girl.
Yeah, some other girl.
Yeah.
We're going to run out of meth eventually, but
Yeah.
okay.
And my thing is like, come on, man, what you're facing isn't that crazy. You didn't rob a bank.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you would be going to prison for a long time.
Right. It was assault, right?
Yeah,
In a
yes.
sense, yeah.
But it would be knocked down pretty far.
Yeah.
If he even stuck, right?
But the thought of doing time in the big house makes people just zoom.
Yeah, except it probably wouldn't be the big house.
No, it'd be a little house.
Yeah.
County house.
And so like you would probably would help. And you're just like treating it like you're Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. Right. With a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something Bonnie had one. But like you're just running like come on, don't do this.
He's going to get caught up. He is too recognizable to not be caught up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If we were here, let's say we're having a Southern Eatery and Bam's sitting there eating some of that delicious fried shrimp or whatever.
It's funny you bring that up
Yeah.
because Lindsay and I just this morning, my wife flew out of town yesterday for some work. And in the airport, she sees one of the ladies from Real Housewives of Orange County. And she's like, is this Vicky? And I'm like, sure. Because I watch it occasionally with my wife a lot. And so Lindsay does her stealth, sleuthing and finds out she's got family here.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like somebody is going to be like, hey, man.
Yeah, that's Bam.
That's Bam.
Side note, Pippi Longstockings is moving to Tulsa. Just thought I'd let you know.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
The gal who played Pippi Longstockings in the 90s movie, Erin something another, I think that's her name. I had seen it on the Facebook. She went and visited the Outsiders House Museum, posted a picture of it and says, I'm so excited to move to Tulsa, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that's cool. Pippi Longstockings, huh? Totally deserve that. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know better. She gets passes. You know better.
I'm just figuring while we're talking about actors and
Tammy
actresses.
Aaron? Is that her name?
Yeah, that's your name. Tammy Aaron.
You had your chance 15 minutes ago to bring up that name and put her on a list.
That's true.
Right.
So
She would've been
now you're getting finger shamed
for
Leroy Jenkins. For shame.
How often do
your
I Leroy
atonement is going to be
Jenkins?
big.
How often do I Leroy Jenkins? Come on. Not that often.
Dude. Okay. But you may do a look. This is a complete
This is
Leroy
full-blown.
Jenkins.
Drag that drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much, in fact, I don't even know what to do now. That was a giant Leroy.
Yeah. Well, you might just be able to see Pippi in town somewhere. But yeah, dead Jerry Springer.
I wouldn't even know Pippi Longstocking if she came up to me and said, I'm Pippi Longstocking.
Really? You never
Pigtails
would, huh?
sticking out.
Unless she has the pigtails.
She has aged a little bit since her role as Pippi Longstocking.
She's still
but
adorable.
She sure is.
I mean, I don't know how recent this picture is, but
What's her name?
Tammy Aaron.
Aaron. Tammy with an I and one M.
I'm just looking at the people. Why is ABBA coming up? Pippi, because it's a book. For those who don't know, it's a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, and in '88, that was one of the movies that she did.
Tammy?
Yeah.
One M and an I, and then Aaron. E-R-I-N.
Yeah, she looks. Whoa.
She's 48.
Yeah, she is.
She's
Yeah,
from
she
Wheaton,
is.
Illinois, originally.
She has changed since her Pippi days.
Yeah. What is? I don't know what's happening.
Did I throw a whole wrench in your system with
Yeah.
Pippi Longstockings? My bad.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
Why are you commenting on her page, Mr. I don't do social media?
Because I'd seen that she was moving, and I was like, "That's awesome! I'd love to have you on and talk to you about
what?
Me and Pippi Longstocking.
About what?
And why are you in Tulsa? Why did you move here?
What have
Why?
you been doing since 1988?
I can tell you, she did Disconnect in 2010.
It would be the shortest interview of all time. I'm sure she's a fantastic individual. What was it like to have coat hangers in your pigtails?
Exactly. You might learn some things about her.
About what? Get Danny Boy on! Don't get her!
He's old news, man. He's been in town long enough.
Shooting your shot. Get out of here.
Hey, why not?
That felt self-serving.
It's got a thing for redheads.
It is what it is.
I don't even know what's happening. All right, Jerry Springer's dead.
Oh, Pippi.
Redheads and beards.
Hit the button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hotel guest wakes up to manager sucking toes. So this
Excuse me.
yeah.
Oh, my mistake. No.
This is not where I parked my car. The incident happened in late March 30th, but the guy was just arrested. The manager was just arrested Friday, so that's why it comes down. So there's a dude, he was staying at the Hilton in Nashville, and he wakes up. Yeah.
He looks like someone who does that.
Yeah, you look like a toe sucker, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So this guy.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Congratulations to Chris Ward of Oolaga. Got qualified for golf and beer for a year. In the running for that Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for two at Birdie Bay. Every hour we're qualifying somebody another chance coming up very soon. Good morning, Lindsay.
Corbin, we're sending someone to see Jelly Roll on the Back Road Baptism Tour. All they have to do is go to KMOD.com, get all of the information there. But you get to pick what show you want to see, either in Dallas or in Tampa, and we're going to take care of the rest. Plus, you get to go backstage and meet Jelly Roll.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. I'm going to be broadcasting live Thursday night, 6:30 downtown in the Blue Dome District for the annual Mid-America Shelby National. So if you like good, fast cars, why don't you come on down and check it out?
Right now, it's time for Our Listeners Are Awesome. We love to chat with our listeners. They share their story with us. And on the line right now is Rox. Hi, Rox. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It says here that, let's see, where's my notes? Here it is. You married? How long have you been married?
About 6 years.
6 years. How'd you meet your husband?
Well, it's an interesting story, actually. I used to work as asset protection for Walmart. And one day while I was checking my security devices in the electronics department, I heard somebody yelling at my least favorite manager at the time. So I turn around to see what's going on. And there is just this drop dead gorgeous man just kind of ripping into this manager that I really do not like. So I'm just soaking it up like, this is great. I love this. And at the same time, kind of thinking, good Lord, this guy is gorgeous. I wish I could get a guy like this. And that was kind of it for the first time I ever saw him. And I just walk away from the situation like, man, I wish I could get a guy like that. Even went and told my friends thinking, oh, I can never get somebody like that. But then about 2 weeks later, he ends up working at Walmart too. And we don't like talk or anything right off the bat, but about a week into him working there, he ends up walking up to me and just doing small talk saying, so what do you do here? And I'm like, oh, well, I catch bad guys like shoplifters because, asset protection. And I'm all weird and awkward. And then he ends up finding me on Facebook. And I'm sitting here thinking, this is weird. Why is this drop dead gorgeous guy reaching out to me? This has got to be some weird prank. And he ends up telling me that he saw me that day too in the electronics department and was wondering why I was behind the electronics counter. And so he ended up finding out that I worked there and applied to Walmart and starting working there literally
just so he could meet you.
Yes.
Wow. You're right. That is a crazy story. How interesting.
Yeah, I love it. I kind of feel like it's my own Cinderella story.
It is.
And so how long ago was that?
That was in 2016, fall of 2016.
So you guys only did it a short amount of time and then got married.
Oh, yeah. We knew right off the bat. We hit it off. Like, we were talking 24/7, nonstop. I helped him out because he was in a weird situation for his housing, and I was not doing too good with my bills. So he actually moved into the house with me before we were really dating because I was helping him out. But we just hit it off so well. It's kind of like we just went from being roommates to all of a sudden we're dating without really making it official. And then he actually proposed that winter at the Nutcracker.
Awesome. I think we have a Michael J. Fox connection. I'm going to put you on hold so Gimpy can check that, make sure it's okay. We're talking with Rox. Our listeners are awesome. As she was, you need me to hold it. As she is sharing with us about how she met her husband and finding somebody. I'm not trying to sound sexist. I've never met a female asset protection person, but it makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't suspect them of being security, maybe?
No, but anytime I've seen asset protection, there's some sort of confrontation that happens.
Oh,
I was just sharing with Lindsay at Rox that I had never met a female asset protection officer. Of course, there are those, but I guess you're just better being incognito because the danger element that's involved. Were you ever feeling like it was dangerous?
Absolutely. Especially since I'm a really short girl. I'm 5'2", and so I always had a male partner, luckily. And they were really good about looking out for me, especially when somebody looked really sketchy and big. But yeah, it was a little, I had a lot of anxiety at first, for sure.
Sure.
It took some getting used to.
I could only imagine. Give me your proudest bust or proudest accomplishment as an asset protection enforcer for the chain.
Well, this is actually a funny story too, and this is definitely my absolute favorite day as asset protection. It was Halloween, and I'm super big into holidays, especially Halloween being my favorite. So of course I was dressed up, and I was dressed up as Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, just full Eeyore onesie. And as part of asset protection, you're supposed to, try to stay incognito and not let people see you, which I have no idea how I was able to do that in an Eeyore costume, but I did.
Hold on, Rox. I got to put you on hold again. We're going to let Gimpy figure that out. We may have to disconnect the line and reconnect because it's kind of jumbled up. And I don't want to predict where the story is going, but I love the idea of busting somebody for shoplifting wearing an Eeyore costume, Lindsay.
Especially if someone's in a Winnie the Pooh costume.
Right, Eeyore.
Busting.
Right, she's right. She's saying she's Eeyore.
Uh-huh.
Right? Or maybe Tigger just jumping around like a crazy person, trying to get away with, I don't know, vacuum bags or whatever it is people steal from Walmart.
Oh my goodness.
I would never want to do asset protection.
No. Too dangerous.
Way too dangerous. Just not. You can do your best to stay at arm's length, but you don't know how the other fool's going to react.
Right. But also I feel like if you are asset protection, it is your job to protect the assets and you want to make sure that they stay in the store and you got to be the hero. But isn't there a rule that says, no, you have to let it leave the store, but you feel like, no, I have to make sure you don't leave with the merchandise.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see if we've gotten a better connection. All right, Rox, sorry about all that. We were having kind of a jumbled connection there, so hopefully it's better now.
Hopefully.
Okay.
I hope so. I moved locations a little bit, so we should be good.
All right. So you were doing asset protection, and it was Halloween. You were dressed up as Eeyore. Continue, please.
Yeah, I actually ended up making 3 really big busts that day. Completely, it's not even a normal day to make 3 busts. Usually you're lucky if you get 1. But I somehow was able to stay hidden from 3 really big, like hundreds of dollar busts. And the greatest part was each time we had to call the cops. And so the cops would always be like, okay, well, we need to watch the playback and, see how everything went. I'm like, of course, yeah. So I pull up the video, and it's super hilarious because each time all you see is just this tiny little Eeyore-looking thing literally sprinting to the door and just jumping in front of a cart to stop the shoplifter, and everybody just busted up laughing each time.
So we were talking as you were we were reconnecting the line. Was your job to not let stuff leave the building?
Yeah. So in asset protection, the rule is you actually have to let the person get past the last point of sale, which is defined as leaving that like first little sliding glass door at Walmart, because that's how you guarantee that, yep, they're shoplifting. They don't have any intention to pay for it. So once that happens, you're good to go and like stop them and get them to turn around and be like, no, I watched all this. You have to come in. We got you.
That seems dangerous. Did you ever have anybody try to assault you or you get injured doing that?
I was never injured. No, I never had anybody attack me either, luckily. I had people like push through me, and I have had people like kind of push their carts into me a little bit. But luckily, no, I was never injured or attacked or anything. But there were plenty of people that would like push through me and just book it and try to get away.
So when you're dressed as Eeyore and you're busting these shoplifters, did you at least do the voice? Are you going to pay for that?
I totally wish I would have thought of that, but no, I did not do that.
Well, after the first one where you're like, oh, bother, here we go again.
We're talking with,
oh, man.
We're talking with Rox. She's our listeners are awesome. And it says here you moved to Oklahoma. How long ago did you move to Oklahoma?
It's been a decade now.
Okay. And do you miss anything about Oregon?
Of course I do. Man, it was so beautiful in Oregon. I was one of the lucky ones who lived right on the coast, but also right next to the redwood forest. So it was just beautiful on all sides.
I've been there a couple times. It is a gorgeous part of the country. Why come to Oklahoma then if it's so great there?
Well, my family moved out here shortly after I graduated high school. So I did a semester of culinary school in Oregon, and then I ended up following them out here because they wanted to be closer to my mother's side of the family and closer to the, tribe and all that.
Okay. And how'd that go moving here, being around them?
Well, at first it went fine. It was just normal everyday life. Just instead of being in Oregon, it was in Oklahoma. But my family and I, we actually have a really, really, really rough past together. And that's an understatement, to be completely honest. And they actually crossed the line back in 2018. I ended up cutting them off completely.
Like no more communication, no Christmas cards, no holidays, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the only person I actually have communication with anymore is my dad. And that's literally like a phone call every couple of months. But everybody else, I literally have not said one single word to them since 2018.
What would be a line that would get crossed that would make you feel like you can't communicate with any of them anymore?
Well, you guys like crazy stories, so get this. My brother, he had a child with somebody I call my sister-in-law now, back in 2011, 2012. And he ended up abandoning her. And that's not the line that was crossed. It's just he abandoned her, told my sister-in-law, you can do everything on your own. This isn't worth it. I'm not even going to waste the money going to court, and moved here to Oklahoma with my family, completely did absolutely nothing for this child or my sister-in-law for 5 years. And they were telling me, like by they, I mean my mom and my brother, that my sister-in-law was threatening them, saying, oh, well, I'm not going to let you see her unless you guys do this for me. And then when they wouldn't do that, they said that she said, well, you guys can't see her at all. I'm not even going to let you talk to her. You guys are cut off. And so for 5 years, I believed them. But back in 2018, I actually reached out to her saying, hey, I know that things are rough with you and my family, but, you and I never had issues. I miss you, and I want to know my niece. And she was ecstatic. She was so confused by what I said that my family was saying about her. And she's like, no, I've tried reaching out to you guys. I miss you guys. Like, I know it's rough, but I want my daughter to know you guys. And so I spent months calling and FaceTiming and getting to know my niece and my sister-in-law and building this really good relationship. And then my sister-in-law was going through a really hard time. So I offered to have my niece come stay with me for a few weeks while she sorted some stuff out. And it was really lucky because my mom happened to be in Oregon at the time and was able to transport her to Oklahoma. But that's when everything went south. My family took complete advantage of the situation. They lied to me, my sister-in-law. The second that they were in Oregon, my niece did not come to me like she was supposed to. My mom decided to take her straight to my brother, which was the plan. Like, I was going to obviously let my brother see his daughter. I wasn't going to be like, oh, nope, it's all for me. But there was rules because he had abandoned her in the first place. And like, it had to be taken like at a right pace that's good for a 5-year-old to handle. And they didn't do that. They immediately took her there, left her with him. And so I went over there the next day and I was like, well, she's supposed to come back with me because she wants her to stay with me. But obviously, we setting things up for you guys. And they said, no, we're not doing that. She's staying here. And I tried reminding them that this needs to be what my sister-in-law wants. She's been the one that's been there for 5 years. This is all on her. Like, these are her rules because she's the parent in this, in this situation. And they said, nope, we're not doing that. She's not here. We don't care what she wants. And so I stick up for my sister-in-law. I'm like, this is not okay. You guys can't do this. You abandoned her in the first place. I'm the one that made this happen. And that's when they kicked me out of the house. And then the next day, they filed a restraining order against me, filed a restraining order against my sister-in-law, accused her of abandoning her daughter, accused me of being mentally unstable, dangerous, and unfit to care for children, accused my sister-in-law of being mentally unstable. And they took all of this to court and they used it to gain temporary custody of my niece. And my sister-in-law had to move out here in with me for a few months as she tried to fight them in court to prove all of these allegations wrong. They even tried getting a judge to force me into psych treatment, trying to say that I was unstable. And that's when the judge finally was like, this is ridiculous, and dropped the charges.
Thank goodness.
How did I imagine at some point the police got involved, but how did the police handle the child being here when I'm guessing she had custody, or they never went to court to establish custody?
Yeah, my brother actually never went to court to establish custody. So my sister-in-law is the only person that ever had custody of my niece. But my grandma, who helped my mom and helped my brother in all of this, worked for the police. And so she pushed all of this stuff through. She pushed everything through the court with all of her. She had hookups with all of them, and she got them all to do this. Luckily, eventually, the whole thing got dropped, and my niece ended up going back with my sister-in-law. But the entire time that my niece is with my family, they're trying to tell her that her mom has abandoned her. She's not coming back for her, and telling me that I'm just this monster that's trying to take her away from a good place. And it was just a complete mess. They became just completely, just people I don't even recognize.
Well, that's so bizarre. The idea that that this person they don't even know, this kid that would get temporary, he had no way to even establish that was his kid other than he's just saying so.
Well, he did do a paternity test illegally.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So, a illegal paternity test means that the legal guardian did not sign off on the test. But you can go to any place that does paternity tests and get a paternity test just because.
Yeah, but a court doesn't allow that.
And that's why it was extremely confusing. And the only reason that any of this stuck was because my sister-in-law was never denying that they were related. She never denied them anything. And so because of that, the court took that and this illegal paternity test as a legitimate reason to believe that he was the father, which he is. And we never denied that at all. And so that's why they just went along with it.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't trying to keep him from her. She just wanted things to be done the right way, and they just didn't care.
What a crazy story.
Yeah.
And so you felt like they went against your word and they were completely deceivious and just not being good human beings, that you felt it was good to just, I need to be distant from them.
Yeah, I mean, it was extremely obvious that the second that they found out they had this opening, they used me to get what they wanted. They lied to me, they deceived me, and they just completely threw out all trust and truth and just went full blown into trying to get whatever they want by any means necessary. And they just became no longer relevant to my mental health, and I couldn't have them in my life or my kids' life for that matter.
Rox, what a crazy story. What a crazy chain of events you've had in your life. And make sure next time I'm in Walmart, I'll be on the lookout for an Eeyore following me. But it's been awesome talking to you. Thank you for taking the time. Thanks for moving around so we can get a better phone connection. And we didn't get to talk about some other things, but it's been awesome talking to you, and have the best day.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
All right. See you later. That's Rox. Our listeners are
Bye.
awesome. We got to take a break, and we'll be back.
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right. A mulligan.
Right.
Yeah. Pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you came back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No, it was not my fault. But I mean, I kept going.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right. See you later.
These texts are
great. Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like, what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
let's
not really
be real
cheating
as
at
a
that
man.
point, are you, Scott? You're
Well,
Mhm.
until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that, like, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's gonna be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
yeah,
right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
No, I'm don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about 1:45ish.
Oh,
you find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I gotta be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just gonna be on crumbs. Listener email: I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans.
I
Corbin.
made a
You
stupid
better
mistake
be users.
and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing whatevs, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope. Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if you're...
Show 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. When I was reacquainting with civilization, I saw this insane story of these kids that survived in the Amazon for 40 days.
40 days.
Yes. Listen to their ages. 13, 9, 4, and 11 months.
That could have easily turned into Lord of the Flies.
I think you might need a couple more, but I hear you.
You get what I'm saying.
And that there was this plane crash. The mother was injured, and she at some point was like, you need to go. I'm not going to make it.
Oh, my.
And when she finally died is when they moved on, and they lived off cassava flour, which is a high carbohydrate flour, but not a grain or wheat or flour. It's made from a root. But it's high on carbohydrates, and they survive. An 11-month-old is... How do they not get diaper rash or be bored?
Right.
Or a 4-year-old constantly asking to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, we're lost in the Amazon, for God-loving sakes.
How did they not get bit by snakes and bugs and all of that? A deadly spider bite or snake.
Animals.
Yes.
Right.
How did they? It's just a fascinating story.
There's people on Naked and Afraid that can't make it 16 hours in the Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that's the max is 16 hours on Naked and Afraid in the Amazon. And these
in
are
the
kids,
Amazon. No one's ever done 21 days.
I don't think so. Not in the Amazon. I don't think so.
Did it say where these kids are from?
Just some country down in that area.
Okay, because my thought is if they already live like that, then of course it's not going to be anything for them to survive in the jungle for 40 days. They're already used to it. If it was you or I or one of our kids, yeah, they probably would have been lion food or snake food in a heartbeat.
So I see what you're saying. You're implying that if they grew up in that region, then they may be able to identify things to stay away from. Maybe don't go in caves, don't go in the water because of leeches or whatever.
Yeah, because that's their environment. That's what they're used to.
It said that choppers dropped boxes of food as they scoured the region by air, and rescuers with dogs searched for the children, which authorities say actually frightened them and prompted them to hide. They were afraid out there with dogs barking, said one of the family members. They hid among the trees. They ran. Rescue crews also blared recordings through loudspeakers of the children's grandmother, urging them to stay in one place so they could find and help them. Said the kids were spooked by that too. Yeah, because they were like, who's going to help us? Yeah. And then they're hearing voices that their oh, God. And then dogs chasing them.
Right. It's all scariness for a young child anyway.
Yes. Every time the search team was close, according to a family member, they didn't know what was going through their little heads. They just hid. It says they're shattered, but in good hands, and they're alive. So that's good news.
Yeah, absolutely.
The eldest, of course, is credited with leading the siblings to safety and keeping them alive using her knowledge of the Amazon, which included staying away from poisonous foliage. General Pedro Sanchez, who took charge of the rescue effort, said the 4 emaciated children were found in a clearing about 3 miles from the site of the crash nearly 6 weeks later.
Damn.
So they were very weak. They were only strong enough to breathe or reach a small fruit to feed themselves or drink a drop of water from the jungle. Officials said they were able to sustain themselves because the jungle was in harvest and lush with fruit. Wow, so any other time they wouldn't have been able to probably survive. Wow. On Saturday, Shakira joined the chorus of those celebrating the children's survival because she's from Colombia. The children of their mother, who are members of the indigenous community Hututoto, were flying from the village of Acara to San Jose del Guave when the small plane suffered engine failure and plunged into the jungle.
That's incredible.
150 soldiers went into the jungle looking for the children. They found traces that they may have survived, including footprints, baby bottles, diapers. On Friday, a trained dog named Wilson sniffed out the exhausted children. Quote, the jungle saved them, according to the president of Colombia. They are children of the jungle, and now they are also children of Colombia.
That's cool.
Unbelievable story.
Yeah. That's that the oldest one just taking charge. Come on. I got you, kids. Let's go.
It's just that it's parents' fault your children give up. Okay. And so what I mean by that is children don't know what give up is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just have to do it. Keep on trucking.
Right? They don't know what quitting is.
Yeah.
Right.
And these people who grew up in an indigenous community have been hardened.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Crazy.
It pays. Like I said, if it was either one of our kids, I don't think there would have been any chance at all whatsoever. It's too hot. Or, something. Oh, look, look, a cat.
Lindsay and I talk about this all the time with the TV show Alone or even Naked and Afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you can make fire. I don't care if you're a good hunter. Mm-hmm. It is mental fortitude that wins you those challenges.
It is.
100%. You can be the best hunter ever. But the moment things get a little dicey.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't handle it.
It's just you and your thoughts.
Yeah. There's some people we've seen on Alone that are unbelievable outdoors people. Know how to make unbelievable forts and can stay warm and find food and everything. And then they're like, oh, God, home.
I'm so lonely.
I'm so lonely. I'm alone. Oh, gosh, I'm alone. Like, they can't get it straight.
You would think that, like, with like Naked and Afraid, because they drop two of them out there, right? And then those two see how long they could last.
Dude, I just watched one last week or the week before. It was a man and a woman. She was 51. He was 49.
Yeah.
And she was a fitness person and in great shape. And he was ex-military. He was a Scandinavian. Had Scandinavian heritage, even like believed in celebrating the Loki or whatever that is, where you tie a tree to your balls and do a 1 mile. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No
Nordic.
thanks.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, like 3 days in, she's like, oh, God. And he's like, hey, man, snap out of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, she ain't doing well.
Right.
So even if you have another person,
I guess you're right.
you go on your own mental. We suffer more in mind than we do in reality.
Right.
99% of the things you suffer about are made up.
Maybe they needed iPads.
Right.
Maybe they thought they knew where they were at.
Right.
And a lot of those times too, those personalities clash and they hate their partner.
Okay, I can see that.
They can't get over that.
for sure.
All right, we got to take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mm-hmm.
And mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means you have a problem if there's stink in the house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold.
Gross.
Yeah.
In the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing his racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little bit.
Yeah, but you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking schnoz.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. And if I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise. The shoebill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see
dropping bombs.
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long legs and stuff like that. Yeah.
The heron. Yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy, can I say big?
Huh?
Big
bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird, I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or roadrunner. One of the two.
Yeah. Why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricassee penguin.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome.
Okay.
And 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay. Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
Let's start basic, right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay?
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is no
the
chicken. No
sauce and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2.
Wow.
If that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would rank like a 2 or 3 for me. And that's because it's mom's. So lasagna just in general.
Yeah.
That's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude. Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the
nope.
That one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah. 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
We went to that fancy Italian place for the boss. What was that, last week? His lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu. I was like,
Mondo's, great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil.
Yes,
And stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1.
Tortellini. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. I have an amazing piece of audio to play for you. The Yankees announcer was doing his calling of the game, and a foul ball gets hit, and he gets hit by the ball. It is some of the most unbelievable audio.
The announcer gets hit.
Doing on the radio.
Nice.
Yeah, so here's the audio.
Now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far. So once again, it'll be a 3-2. And Holmes ready to
He's
deal.
fine.
A ground ball.
Goes back at it.
Ow! Ow!
Man.
Yeah, it's the most unbelievable audio of him. And in the video, you see him. He's just like, he's watching it. He's like not phased at all. And then I'd be dropping bombs, man.
For real.
Now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here.
Ow!
Oh, and it got him in the face.
Yeah, he broke his glasses.
Yeah.
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
That's what Lindsay said.
The Chicago White Sox are losing their all-star reliever for the near future. Right-hander Liam Hendriks was placed on the 15-day injured list with elbow inflammation on Sunday. Hendricks was sidelined for the first 2 months of the season after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma during the offseason. In 5 games since his return from beating cancer, Hendricks was 2-0 with 1 save and a 5.40 ERA. The Southsiders recalled reliever Tanner Banks from AAA Charlotte to replace Hendricks in the interim. At UFC 289, Amanda Nunes beat Irene Aldana in a unanimous decision and then called it a career. After the win, Nunes placed both the UFC women's bantamweight belt and the UFC women's featherweight belts on the mat, knelt down to them, kissed them, saying, "Double champion forever. This is the perfect night to retire." After the fight, Nunes was asked what she hoped to be remembered for. Quickly, she responded, "The greatest of all time. I did everything. I broke a lot of records." At 35, Amanda retires with an overall record of 23-5 and has the most wins in UFC women's history, the most UFC title fights among women, and the most finishes in UFC women's history.
Listen to this. This is a pretty crazy stat. She retires with money, health, legacy, and on top of the fight game. Few leave with 1 or 2 of those, and almost nobody does it with all 4.
Was she the last person to beat Ronda Rousey before Ronda left and went to wrestling?
I don't remember.
I feel like she was.
I don't remember, but that was quite a long time ago.
Yeah,
Amanda Nunes has done way more since.
She's amazing.
That's hardly her biggest accomplishment.
Mhm,
And that's a
right.
massive accomplishment.
Right.
She whooped.
She did.
People talk about like men stronger than women. This woman would whoop so many people's ass.
She sure would.
She's a dog.
Yeah. She's
$4
fun to
million
watch.
is her net worth.
Dang.
Was
Wow.
worth
Yeah.
watching. No, I'm saying she was fun to watch, and
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah. The top-ranked men's basketball player remaining in the transfer portal has decided where he will continue his playing career. ESPN reports Creighton transfer Arthur Kaluma has committed to Kansas State. The 6'7" forward chose the Wildcats over SEC programs Alabama and Kentucky. Kaluma averaged 11.8 points and 6 rebounds per game while suiting up for the Blue Jays last season. He'll team up with North Texas transfer Tyler Perry and return returning starters Cam Carter and Naquan Tomlin to form a strong lineup for K-State next season. Martin Truex Jr. joining the 3 Victories Club. The driver of the number 19 car took home the checkered flag in the Toyota Save Mart 350 from Sonoma on Sunday. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories there.
Yeah. I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again, I think the Connors came way late, like almost at the very end.
Of
Yeah.
the Big Bang?
Of Big Bang, yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something
yes.
like that. 16 rules to dating my teenage daughter or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was
Yes,
the name
that
of
was
it.
it.
And, check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the daughter?
I don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right. Here we go. All right.
You found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta. There better be at some point you play that out, right?
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place in Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne, right? They had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
right.
Like, you can't get in here, you racist bitch. All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Use your hands on my daughter and you'll lose them after. That's rule number 1.
John Ritter is hardly that guy.
Right?
Really?
He might be the nicest character ever on any show, ever.
But that's what they want us to believe.
I think only one time he played a character that was really bad, evil.
Okay.
He mostly was the good golly gee guy.
Wow, even on Problem Child, he was
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah. He was like, he could have been on SNL. Like he was a, what do they call it when a comedian, they like hurt themselves and stuff like that? He's that type of comedian.
Okay. Like Chris Farley was,
Chris
where
Farley,
he'd fall over on tables and it wouldn't bother him any at all.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to believe. Maybe deep down inside, he's really just a mean
Sure,
asshole.
who he is off screen is, but we're talking about the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time, but you get that 1% that's never shown.
But it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy.
Right.
Right?
All right. So number 2, you make her cry, I make you cry.
Again, not on brand with John Ritter.
Number 3, safe sex is a myth. Anything you try will be hazardous to your health.
That's just bad parenting. That's just, I mean, they're going to have sex, right? So now you're turning them away from practicing safe sex.
Right now they're going to do it just to spite you, Dad.
Well, it's not safe.
He's going to raw dog it just to spite your dad.
God, that word is so awesome. I hate it and love it at the same time.
All right, so number 4, you're looking at bring her home late. There's no next date. Notice how everything rhymes with these rules.
That's on John Ritter brand.
Yeah. Number 5, if you pull into my driveway and honk, you better be dropping off a package because you're sure not picking up anything else.
Who delivers stuff to your house? Who delivers stuff in honks?
I don't know.
No one.
Usually they knock on the door,
no one.
ring a doorbell.
For us,
something like that.
DoorDash,
Right.
Domino's in the time like that. No, that's not a thing.
It says alternative rule number 5, only delivery men honk, dates ring the doorbell once. That was his alternative to the number 5.
Okay.
Honking.
Oh, okay.
All right. So number 6, no complaining while you're waiting for her. If you're bored, change my oil. Change, not check.
I don't know. If you know who John Ritter was, he might mean.
He
something
did play a
completely
little
different.
Fruity Fruit on Three's Company.
Word?
At least to Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper, he
They
was.
believed
Right,
he was.
exactly.
Yeah. Number 7, if your pants hang off your hips, I'll gladly secure them with my staple gun.
Yes.
Dick. Assault.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, not on brand for
Nope,
John Ritter.
not at all.
And lastly here, number 8 for 8 simple rules of dating my teenage daughter. Dates must be in crowded public places. You want romance, read a book.
I like it.
Again, that might be the most on brand of all of them.
Yeah.
For John Ritter.
Yeah.
I had to look up whether or not John Ritter ever played a bad guy. And the only one I found was his role in the film Bad Santa. Bob Chapesca.
With Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
Was he still alive at that time? I mean, apparently the internet says so, but
2003.
Okay.
He was out to expose him for the hard drinking, offensive brute that Billy Bob Thornton's role was.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And John Ritter died in 2003.
Mhm.
Wow. So shortly after he did that, I guess.
Yeah.
How about that?
I feel like I saw him in a, because he was in Sling Blade, if I remember correctly, too. Like he was the friend, he was the father of the boy. Was he evil in that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Problem Child, we know him as.
Yeah.
I feel like there was he played Roy Slade. Is that right?
In Sling Blade? No.
No. Oh, he was the priest. That feels on brand for John Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had John Ritter on there? What they'll talk about today? Bingo card.
Yeah, not me.
Nobody.
Walt Disney World employee arrested for upskirt videos. So there's a dude, he's 26, his name's Jorge Vega, and he works at the Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities at the Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Apparently, this cat was caught by another employee taking videos up the skirt of a young 18-year-old woman who was there shopping for lightsabers with her boyfriend. Yeah, he got a girlfriend. Anyhow, that's a different story. So the employee goes and tells the manager calls the cops come out and they talk to Jorge, and Jorge's like, yeah, man, I've been doing this for like 6 years. I've got like over 500 videos on my phone. Here, you want to see some? And he ends up sharing some of the videos with the police. Anyhow, the woman, the 18-year-old woman, had no idea she had been filmed. Old Jorge told the police that he does this because they're hard to find on the internet and that he uses them for gratification.
Hey, he is an entrepreneur.
Yes, he's helping out. He's providing a service.
At Disney, we want go-getters.
Yeah.
Solving problems.
Yeah. Well, Jorge got popped for video voyeurism. That's what he's in trouble
This
for.
story feels familiar. I know it's not the same story, but I feel like we've read a story before about somebody doing this, but maybe it was some other child predator thing or something, but it was like a janitor or somebody in the back.
They say here's not the first time this has happened at the Disney World or whatever. It says back in 2018, Eric King, a Walt Disney World cast member, was caught using his phone in an employee-only men's room at Disney's Animal Kingdom and was charged with video voyeurism. Another member said that he was at the urinal when he noticed that Mr. King was filming him under the nearby bathroom stall.
I'm kicking somebody.
Oh, for sure. And then here's a fun one. Yambao Zhang, a Chinese national. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his name. He pleaded guilty to voyeurism in 2014 after he took pictures of girls between the ages of 4 and 7 while he was vacationing at the Magic Kingdom.
Listen, I'm sure the Disney jail's awesome. Because that's where I would be going because I am assaulting an MFer.
In a heartbeat. I don't know if they're like, let's say I'm at the urinal, like taking a whiz, and I look down and there's a phone filming me. I'm just going to piss on the phone.
Yeah, my aim's going to get really bad really quick.
Absolutely. Now, if I find out that you were videoing my little girls, that's a different story.
Cattle with tongues missing found in Texas. It's a bizarre story where authorities are investigating the mysterious deaths of about a half dozen cattle, and they were found with their tongues cut out. Ranchers in Madison County are looking, that's about 100 miles north of Houston. They said they found mutilated remains of 6-year-old longhorn cross cow last week with their tongue cleanly cut and removed. Sheriff's office said it learned about five similar cases in the neighboring counties. There's no signs of struggle. There's no footprints. There's no tracks, and grass around the carcasses wasn't disturbed.
Oh, well, then it had to be aliens then.
Well, of course.
Of course. I don't know, man. They say cow tongue's pretty good, so I mean, maybe the aliens got, a new taco recipe or something. They're like, hey, we need.
Is it chunga? Is that chungura?
Fresh cow.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin, and happy 58th porn star birthday to Vicky Vet. You can see her rev her engine in Apprentice, 3, 6, and 9, Jiggly Jackpot, MILF Madness, and Star Whores. She got started in porn at the age of 38, and she is still in the game. She's kind of hot still.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. Every day that passes is another day closer to Rocklahoma. Get your full lineup and your link for tickets at KMOD.com.
Qualifying people for golf and beer for a year, and we just qualified Donna Duncan of Broken Arrow. Donna heard the cue and is now in the running for a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for two at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. Every hour of the Big Mad Morning Show, you have a chance to get qualified for Corona Premier Light Beer in Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. Joining us now in the studio, like he does on Mondays, is our friend Jeff Hensley from Hensley & Associates. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Now, we had somebody come on earlier for our listeners are awesome, and they shared a story about their brother wanting to not have anything to do with their kid. They moved away. She tried to reconcile with the child's mother to get to know her niece and arranged for the child to come visit. And when they did, grandparents swooped in and presumed dad, swooped in, took possession of the kid, put restraining orders on everybody, blah, 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 blah. My question for you on guidance is, what do you do if you're in a scenario where your kid goes to visit and it's a whole nother state's laws that you're not accustomed to and gets swooped up and you have to fight to get your kid back?
Well, that's a nightmare scenario. And it's interesting. It boils down to one. First of all, the first question to ask is what's the home state of the child? How long has the child been in this other state? If the child's been there more than 6 months, then that state has controlling jurisdiction, which means that let's say the child is a resident of Nevada, and they come here and they've been a resident there. They come to visit. Bio dads and grandparents swoop in. Well, first of all, they would have to play it a particular way because Oklahoma doesn't have jurisdiction over that child.
But how would that get proven? I mean, if I have the kid and then the parent shows up from the other state and is like, that's my kid, to the police, how do you deal with that? Because the police are going to do what?
The police can't do anything unless they have an order from the court that says that they are to take the child. So it's called a writ of assistance is what we call it, okay? So without that, the cops can't do anything. Zero, zilch, nothing.
For either party? So they would just let the kid stay with whoever?
They don't have any legal rights to remove a child from a parent without an order from a judge, period.
So how do police handle situations on who has control of a kid in that scenario?
They can't.
So what do they do when they're called to a
They basically
call?
have to say, I'm sorry, but this is a domestic issue. You need to take it up with the judge. It's really that simple. They have no legal rights.
They won't resolve it.
They can't. They don't have any legal rights as a cop, as a police officer, as law enforcement of any sort, okay, to remove a child without an order of a judge.
That's scary.
Period.
That's scary because I think a lot of parents
it's not really scary, and here's why. All right? You don't want someone lying and going to a cop and saying, well, that's my kid, and they go grab.
Yeah.
It's not really that scary. It's a way to protect the children. Now, in this particular scenario, it might seem scary, but from a broad, overreaching look at everything, it's not so scary.
I understand that. I'm saying it's scary if you're a parent and think the police are going to help you protect your child.
Right. They can't without an order. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, that's the law in Oklahoma, and I believe, a lot of other states as well. So, but, with this parent, the mom, she would have to say, well, look, first of all, there's no emergency. I don't know why they did this other than I moved away, which, in a paternity situation, you're allowed to do that. All right. If there's no orders on visitation or custody or any of that kind of stuff yet, and nothing's been filed with the court and you want to move, you can move. I mean, that's legally allowed to do so. Yeah. It sucks. I mean, those are what I call, again, nightmare scenarios. Those are scenarios that are probably one of the worst things we ever deal with, but it happens.
I think I know the answer you're going to give me on this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And that is, how can I safeguard myself in that scenario if I have custody of my kid?
If you have an order from whatever state that she's living in, she can enforce that order here and get the child back.
So
I don't know exactly what was filed. I mean, was it a protective order? Was it emergency custody? I didn't get a chance to listen this morning on my way in like I normally do. So otherwise I'd be a little more versed in what's going on. But, depending upon what was filed, if it was a protective order, you have to see what the claims are. I mean, if they're claiming that mom's beating the kid and molesting the kid or whatever it may be, I mean, that's completely different than just trying to file an emergency custody without jurisdiction. I mean, it's very different scenarios.
Well, maybe this is more of a classic example of how hairy that system can be, and you need to have legal representation to navigate and help get the child back here.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
You can ask Jeff any family law question as he's in the studio with us right now, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. This says, my ex-wife had custody of our two kids until 2.5 years ago when she abused my oldest daughter and kicked her out of her car in my driveway. Cops and DHS were involved. In forensic interviews, it came out there was also sexual abuse happening with my oldest daughter. I got full custody of both kids. They did supervised visits for a while. Now we have worked into a modified visitation schedule for my son only. I have suspicion there's been sexual misconduct between my ex-wife and my son also, but he would never say anything to get her in trouble. Ex-wife works at a bar, so is gone all night long. The order was set for my now 15-year-old son to go there only on her days off work, so she would be home. We have found out now that while she isn't working on those days he's there, she's still going to the bar she works at to play in pool tournaments and so on. My son told me she's usually not home before he goes to bed at 11 o'clock midnight. Am I legally allowed to make him stay home on her visits?
No. You have to follow the order as it exists, but what you've got now is information for modification because she's not using her time. I mean, if she's leaving the kid there all by himself all day long and not seeing him and not using her visitation, then that's a grounds for modification at that point. So, while I get the point, and the concern is, if mom wasn't there overnight, that'd be the bigger concern. And I think you could probably do something, a notice of suspension of visitation or something like that if the child's being left alone overnight or something, even though they're 15. I get the 15-year-old thing, but again, they're still minors. And every parent has different views on that. But I will tell you that, there's grounds for modification here so that if mom's not using her time, then she doesn't need to be having her time. It's really that simple. Mom needs to wake up and make a better decision, either pool tournaments and bar or her kids. And some people will choose the bar and the pool tournaments over their children. That's just the way life goes. Sadly.
And you've stated before that you need, until the order is different, you have to encourage and make sure you're encouraging visitation.
Correct. Unless there's something that is, immediate irreparable harm that's detrimental to the child. Here, we don't have that. I mean, it sucks the kid's being left home alone and mom's not using her visitation, but from what we know, anyway, from what little we know, the child's not in an immediate irreparable harm. So, short of that, then you have to follow that order.
Right. I think sometimes people think because they have custody of that they believe what they're doing is in the best interest of the child, that they can do it on a whim.
Right. And you can't. That's not how it works. Again, if there's an order, you follow it unless there's an emergency, at which point, call me, we deal with it.
This email came in. It says, I have guardianship of my two nephews, age 9 and 12, for the past 3 years. Their mother passed away February of 2021. She was 28. Can I file for her Social Security for the boys? I do not have her SSN number or death certificate. Do I need an attorney to do any of this?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do those things, you're going to need an attorney for sure, especially to get those documents that you're going to need. And I mean, Yeah, I mean, there should be some Social Security. I mean, she was only 28, but I'm sure there was some in there. So yeah, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you with that.
How hard is it to navigate that when you don't have any of that information?
Well, it can be a nightmare. I mean, you've got to file some things with the court to be able to get information like that released if you don't have it.
Can anybody get a death certificate? Can anybody call the records department and just get a death certificate or birth certificate?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So, but as far as the Social Security side of things, yeah, you're going to need orders from a court to be able to institute and start going. It's because it's more than just, death certificate and stuff. You got to get all that information. So give us a call. We can help you with that.
When you're dealing with guardianship, unless it's a known thing, you can't get ahead of that. I mean,
the thing is, she's ahead of the game because she is the guardian of the minor children. Therefore, she makes all the legal decisions for them, which would include those things we're talking about right now. So, basically she can come in and say, okay, mother's dead. My question is, where's dad? And are there any, issues there? But, yeah, give us a call. We can help you with both of that.
If you have guardianship and maybe we don't know where the dad is, can that other party sprout up and start
causing problems? Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say interference, but problem.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they can show up and cause all sorts of problems. So, and that's the other thing too, is we have a lot of guardianships that get done by people, pro se people, or people that represent themselves. And we get in there and we realize they didn't give proper notice to everybody involved in the case. So now we've got a bigger problem because now we've got to cure the issue of notice, at which point you might have somebody pop in and start causing problems because they didn't have notice to begin with. And, it can be a nightmare. So you want to do it right the first time. So you want to give us a call and not do it yourselves.
I have a text that came in that I wanted to ask you about. It's a little different than anything we've ever discussed, but
this
says child court is bullcrap. The only part of the legal system where you're guilty until proven innocent. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I disagree with that because I think that's kind of the general attitude in every bit of law, not just family law or child law. I hate to say that, but the law says innocent until proven guilty. Society treats people very differently. Society, as a general rule, in my experience, treats people the complete opposite. It's unfortunate. That's not the way the law is written. It's not going to... I wish people would follow that law and realize that that's the case. But unfortunately, I think, and I blame, and this is just Jeff talking. This is not any law anywhere, but this is thoughts by Jeff, is that I think because of TV and movies and all these things that everybody watches now, and I think that's where they get all these ideas that, oh, he's really guilty, not really innocent. And then the person ends up being innocent. I mean, I have one case I can think of where there was somebody that had been accused of something, and I won't say what because it was in the papers and everything, but I knew the person involved, and they ended up being acquitted. But everybody thought this person was guilty the entire way through. And it's unfortunate because that person's name was dragged through the mud and everything else by the media. So
yeah.
There you go. I think it's media that controls a lot of these poor opinions.
Yeah, I have a friend who was a teacher, and he got in trouble for domestic violence and child abuse, and lost his job. It was in the paper, and then all those charges got dropped.
Yeah,
and there was no big front story, page story.
Right,
fixing
exactly.
all that.
That's the thing, is they never put a front page story saying acquitted. They don't do any of that. They'll run your name through the mud and ruin you, but they don't care about it if you're actually acquitted. And that's the unfortunate part, because at that point, that person's life is over. You might as well move to the Bahamas and get out of the U.S. because your name is now screwed everywhere.
Well, and I think the other part is 50% of the people involved in those scenarios lose. Like it is. So there's a winner and a loser. So
right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dustin is on. He's got a question. Dustin, what's your question for Jeff Hensley of Hensley & Associates?
I'm trying to get my name on my daughter's birth certificate, and she was born out of wedlock. My baby's mama was married to a guy that was in prison at the time she got pregnant, and I'm just trying to get my name on her birth certificate.
It's not going to happen because she was married. The thing is you're going to have to file paternity action. You're going to have to sign an acknowledgement of paternity. He's going to have to sign a denial, and then we can get your name on the birth certificate. It's not as easy as just saying, well, I'm bio dad, and we had a baby, even though she was married. I mean, under the law, the kid has to have the legal father's last name and not yours. So, if you give your name or number to Gimpy, I'll give you a call and we'll, put together a path on how to get that done. But that's basically what has to happen is we have to file for paternity rights and those sorts of things to be able to get you in there so we can get your name on the birth certificate.
Okay. Well, one quick question. When she got a divorce after she had the baby, we did the denial in front of the judge saying that he is not the father.
Okay.
And they told me that all I had to do was just go down to court and do the paperwork, but I didn't know. They said I didn't need an attorney, but
yeah, that's not true.
Each attorney is saying it's going to be like $2,500, even though they're wanting to try to do a custody thing too. And I'm not trying to do custody because I already have my daughter.
Well, no, you don't. Not legally, you don't. I mean,
not legally.
She may be in your care, but you can't make any legal decisions for her. You can't enroll her in school. You can't take her to the doctor, all those sorts of things. So give me a call, or give you a name and number to Gimpy. I will call you today or tomorrow, and we'll set out a game plan, okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, hang on the line. He said something, and I can only imagine in a chaotic moment of the courtroom that you hear one thing, but it's actually another. How do you safeguard against that besides paying attention? And when understandably so, it's a lot going on.
Sure. So, what he said was they did a denial during the divorce. Okay, great. But where's the acknowledgement? Was an acknowledgement done? And what should have happened during that divorce is there should have been a motion to intervene by him to intervene as biodad. I mean, that would have been the quick, easy way to fix this instead of going back and doing what we're doing now about name changes and stuff. Because when you file a motion to intervene as a biological parent for a child that's born during somebody else's marriage, that legal dad signs a denial. Sounds like they did that. You as biodad sign an acknowledgement. All right. I don't know if that happened or not. He didn't say. I'll find out. And then once that's done, then we can talk about getting names on birth certificates. But we're going to have to do a custody. I mean, if he says he's got his kid, we're going to have to do a custody thing because he's got no legal rights under the law in Oklahoma. I mean, again,
he may be enrolling in school. He may be doing some of these things, but he doesn't legally have a right to do that.
Yeah, since November 1st of 2011, the law has always been that mom's got sole custody until dad does something else. Even if mom is dead, okay, even if mom is deceased in there somewhere, that doesn't give him automatic legal rights to his kid. We still have to do a paternity action to establish that he is dad so he can become and have those legal controls.
Right. Sometimes those are a little easy to navigate. Sometimes they're not. But this is another great example.
Absolutely.
You need to have representation to know when that moment comes up that you need to have a motion to intervene.
Right.
Because there are steps that can happen to make it less problematic later down the line, which this gentleman is in.
Well, and the last thing you want is to have somebody show up on your door some police officer taking your kid because they've got a writ because you have no legal rights to the kid, even though the kid is biologically yours. I mean, there's this...
Because you didn't know and you did it on your own.
Right. Well, and again, there's this misconception everywhere. And I hope all your listeners are listening because this is true in pretty much every state too, especially in Oklahoma. Just because you have a baby, just because you have put your DNA into somebody else and made a kid.
Sounds so romantic.
Well, it's
sounds
biological.
It sounds very legal.
It's biological.
Uh-huh.
All right. Doesn't mean that you have rights to that thing that you've made, to that baby that you've made, to that person in that soul that you've made. All right. That doesn't give you automatic rights, especially in Oklahoma. All right. Now, I understand the whole I'm dad. I want to take, I think it's awesome. If you want to be involved, perfect. Power to you. I think that's totally awesome. But from a legal standpoint, especially in Oklahoma, you don't have, if a child is born out of wedlock, you have no rights to that child until we do something with it in court, period. I mean, that's the way it's been since November 1st, 2011. I will never forget the day that I read that on November 1st when the opinion was published, or it's not the opinion, but the law was published for everybody to see. I was flabbergasted because it was very different prior to that. So, and it's not changed in almost 12 years. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. And nobody that I know of has challenged it. I've not seen any published opinions on challenges to the Supreme Court on this. So in 12 years. So that's kind of what we're stuck with. Please understand, just because you help make a baby, I'm glad that you want to be dad, but that does not legally make you dad.
Even if everything's copacetic right now, that doesn't mean it will be and stay that way.
Exactly. And I don't mean to get on a diatribe, but it's something I deal with every day.
That's why you need the representation to help navigate the system the correct way to save yourself headaches further down the line and to make sure it's done properly, because we're talking about your family here. The folks at Hensley & Associates specialize in family law. You can call them at 918-398-5692. Mention KMOD, get a free consultation over the phone, and Jeff will help navigate your setup for you and see what's the best route to get you to where you want to go. You guys are also in another area as well.
That's right. So we have our office up at Pawhuska. All right. It's the Shoemake Law Firm, but it is owned by Hensley. And they handle everything else. So in addition to family law, if you've got a criminal case where you've got a criminal pending charge in any counties, let us know. They can represent you. Probate, if you've got any probate issues. I mean, you name it. Everything they do up there, including contract law. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, please give us a call. We'd love to help you with that. If you've been hurt by somebody in the medical profession, please give us a call. We do medical malpractice as well. So anything other than family law, even though they do family law, okay, they do that. I don't want to take that away. I'm just saying, in addition to that, they do all these other things, and they've been doing that. Office up there has been doing it for over 75 years. So please give them a call, and they can definitely help you with all those issues.
918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Jeff, have a great week.
Hey, you too. Thanks.
We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back. The Big Mad Morning Show.
I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook Day Spa or Dispensary?
Lindsay. Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic gift. And you're not a horrible cook.
No.
So that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen, Corbin,
and, I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best they can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right? So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea. Set right up front because nobody wants this. So I grabbed a pack and you get to take it home with you.
Again, you put zero effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just so grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right. Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me, let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that situation.
That maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
this isn't a problem.
This
This is a crack in the foundation.
Absolutely. Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other things he could try?
I think he
entertain the idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
Hands and knees and
begs.
What? Yeah. What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not enough.
Good and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man. You're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You know, you're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay.
Come
Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her?
What
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give her an
yeah.
opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win her over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk and he got lonely.
So this was your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd live here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right. See you later. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Little death pool update. We never really hit on Tina Turner passing away. That's been a hot minute since she passed away. That was crazy. And if you've ever seen any of the stuff about her life and the fact that she even survived is insane. But over the weekend, Ted Kaczynski died.
Oh, the Unabomber, huh?
The Unabomber. It's unclear if he died of age. He was 83, or if it was a suicide.
Okay.
And Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, as Gimpy pointed out, that story or that chapter of his life is crazy. But to me, the more crazier part that may have led to him becoming the Unabomber is at 16, he was a brainiac, and he skipped like 5 grades and went on to college at 16 and was at Harvard. And at 17, he was a part of a historic experiment conducted by the CIA called the Harvard Psychology Experiment, where they tortured like 20 plus individuals to see how they handled it.
In the name of science.
In the name of science. Like really unethical things. Tortured them. And then he went on to be like a horrible professor and all these other things, a mathematician and obviously the Unabomber. One could probably make the argument, he might not have become the Unabomber had he not have been a part of this experiment.
That's fair. It's fair to say that.
Or what other rabbit hole you'd like to go down about the CIA and their involvement.
Was he still locked up when he died?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't remember ever hearing him get out, but, to be honest with you, I haven't kept up with the Unabomber in a long time.
So another fascinating thing about him is he is in it's not called Supermax, I don't think, but it's a Supermax prison where you are only allowed out of your cell 1 hour a day.
Wow.
You're not allowed to mingle with other people. It's a high level security facility. And he was, and like, it's a really crazy prison system setup that they have for extreme prisoners like him. The other guy, if I remember right, the guy that was a part of Oklahoma City bombing.
Terry Nichols.
Some of the terrorists that they had down in Gitmo and all that other stuff. Like, the kid from the Boston Marathon bomb. Really horrible individuals that have done some heinous things.
Yeah.
And they have them locked up in this crazy prison. So here's a guy who has multiple chapters of insanity.
Yeah.
Maybe caused by him, maybe not caused by him, but he's a part of, and just fascinating individual that now that he's died. And then the other one, really, which I can't believe we didn't have Ted Kaczynski on our death pool. I don't know. Nobody had him. Not even like recently.
Yeah. Has anybody ever had
no,
him? Yeah,
no,
not that I could think of.
Which he feels like a viable candidate to be on there.
Same way with Charles Manson. I don't remember anybody having Manson on their death pool throughout the years.
I'd have to go far back to look, but somebody who had been on mine and Gimpy's as of recent was Pat Robertson.
Yeah,
but nobody has him right now.
No,
so ain't nobody getting no points. But just for recollection, Henry Kissinger, Rosalind Carter, Tippi Hedren, who's that, Lindsay?
From the Birds.
And Jim Baker is who Lindsay has in her wild cards, Kanye West. Gimpy has Yoko Ono.
Please.
Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Carter, Jack Nicholson, and his wild card is Jaleel White. And then I have Marv Levy, Phil Collins, Bob Baca, Dick Cheney, and my wild card is Farrah Abraham. So nobody has gotten points this year as we are approaching the halfway mark.
I need Urkel to go on a cocaine bender and then just, Chris Farley out on this
I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not, but I'm just saying. I don't want to wish death on anybody, but
of the 3 wild cards, yours feels the most safe to not happen.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. Fair is a little reckless. I mean, she was. I don't know. I haven't kept up with her lately either. And then who was
Kanye.
Kanye.
I can see that he's mentally not all there.
There was
unstable.
recently a photo of him walking around with just socks on, and
That's all he's wearing
That's
now.
not that's crazy, but he's because he's protesting because they dropped his shoes.
Yes.
So he's not wearing any shoes. And his girlfriend, they said, looks like Pete Davidson. So she wears like a thin mask over a bag or something over her head. It's so funny
She looks like she's wearing a condom over her body.
to make her.
Nylon condom.
Yeah.
Honestly. They look ridiculous. And he's wearing shoulder pads now.
Yeah.
And they just look, and he's wearing leggings.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks awful.
I know this sounds crazy based off your description you just gave, but he is considered a fashion icon.
I know, isn't that nuts? That is nuts.
That doesn't mean anything. By the way, speaking of shoes, I watched the movie with Matt Damon and
Ben Affleck.
yes, thank you. Air about the Nike Air Jordan story.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
Excellent.
It might be one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Is that on like Netflix or something like that? Or?
Amazon Prime is where I saw it.
I have Amazon.
And just a story of how they got Jordan and how they shouldn't have gotten Jordan. And Affleck's great in it. Matt Damon's great in it.
Okay.
It's a really good, surprisingly, really. And Chris Tucker steals the movie.
Really?
He's
of all people.
I
Chris
know.
Tucker, huh?
Yes, I'm not a Chris Tucker fan. He's fine. I don't not like him. I just don't get excited. He's phenomenal not being Chris Tucker, if you know what that means.
Right. He's not being smoking.
He's not Fifth Element. He's not smoking. He's being another character.
He seems to be really coming back, Chris Tucker. I mean, because he fell there for a long time after like all the Rush Hour movies, right? And then he fell. He got broke AF, and then he's quickly bringing that rise to fame back up.
I could be mistaken, but I think there's a lot of stories out there about him as it like Keanu Reeves style. Like he is a good dude.
He's doing good things.
He's just a good dude.
Okay.
But this movie, Air, it's maybe it was up for awards. I don't remember, but it should be because it's fantastic. I try not to overhype movies, but the acting's good, the story's good. You know what's going to happen, but you're still like on the edge of your seat. You know Nike gets them.
Yeah.
I think I was unaware how much pushback Nike was getting on whether they should sign him. By the way, $250,000.
Yeah.
Really?
That was it.
That was it. And they give some stats at the end to show the impact Jordan had.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic movie. Have you seen it, Ed Lindsay?
No, I haven't. Now, Marcus watched it and he said it was really good. So I'm like, all right, cool. I want to see it. I just don't have the time right now.
You have more time than anybody I know. You watch more TV than I do. Yeah, so I totally recommend that. But nobody got points on the death pool. So even with Pat Robertson, I feel totally, I got to be honest, with the Carters on our list, Clint Eastwood, Bob Barker, Henry Kissinger, didn't they just have a big thing for Henry Kissinger? Like the fact that he was still alive?
Exactly. I chose the wrong TV evangelist, apparently, because I have Jim Baker.
You do have Jim Baker. Yeah. All right, we got to take a break and we'll be back.
The Big
I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still,
Mhm.
you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, "That's so dirty here."
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
Or do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you
Look
have.
down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder?
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know
But
you're a
this is-
hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
Oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown off
mile
guard.
away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm.
So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Good. You're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dressed for less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
like cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first,
You're so
right?
bougie. Like,
Yeah.
You come over get high and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah. If you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But
Clear off the tables and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh God. Oh God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy. Right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
you're
obviously
covering up a
something up.
smell.
Yeah.
Right?
Which will refill itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass.
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mhm.
And mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine Or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing his racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little bit.
But you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you make.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Somebody texted in, Dick Cheney dead? Nope, he alive. Very rarely are we going to miss talking about getting points.
Right?
I saw this headline. These two headlines to me are crazy. One, Marlon Wayans confirms he was removed from a United flight.
Uh-oh.
Why is that funny? I agree,
I
Gimpy.
don't know why. I don't know. I wonder what for.
He was told by an agent that he had to consolidate his carry-on bags, and after complying, the agent told him the bag would have to be checked instead. The comedian said, dude tried to lie, and I say I assaulted him. The video clearly shows I never touched him. He was desperate to try and have some authority. I have flown over 15 million miles in my lifetime. So therefore, what? You're incapable of that? I've rarely had problems. Anyone who knows me knows I'm mild-mannered. The Denver police cited Wayans. Oh, I wonder if it was when I was there.
It's possible.
Was cited and went on to praise American Airlines for helping him out, providing polite service. Dude, yeah. If they tell you, check your bag. Shut up and get on the plane.
Yeah.
Right, but you know who he is? It's Marlon Wayans. He was saying with a straight face. It's Marlon Wayans. What'd you say about my mama?
Flying is a giant inconvenience to be convenient. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The act of inconvenience just for the convenience.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The amount of security you go through, the dealing with other humans.
Yeah.
Right? But all in all, at least for me, it's a pretty flawless experience.
Yeah. And it's worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
It would have been over 12 hours of driving time.
Yes. Exactly.
For me to go this past weekend to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I did it in 2.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You cut 10 hours out of your day.
Yeah.
Out of your
Right.
trip.
Check a kid. I don't care.
Right.
It's faster.
Right. When it goes smoothly,
That's sarcasm,
it's
folks.
perfect.
Calm down. Another one. Apparently, Bill Murray and Khalees are dating.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Why?
I just don't see it.
Okay, why?
Because what does she see in him?
I'll tell you why they're dating, but that doesn't. You're underestimating humans. People can bond over crazy things.
Yeah, that is true.
He has been known to get quite the hot-looking women, but apparently they connected over the grieving their spouses that passed away.
Oh.
Oh, now who's a
No,
bitch?
I didn't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
People can connect for crazy reasons.
Mhm.
Sidebar, I didn't know how hot Khalees was.
Yeah.
She looks fantastic.
What's all the milkshakes bringing them boys to the yard?
I might get into some milkshakes.
Right.
I didn't realize how hot she was. I knew she was pretty.
Yeah.
But she looks amazing. Good on Bill Murray.
Yeah, right.
Apparently they're on vacation in Greece together.
Well, good. How old is Bill, man? 'Cause he's
83,
looking-
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's
She's
looking old.
43.
Something like that. But she looks great.
72. Bill
Okay.
Murray is 72.
Oh, sorry, Bill.
But he looks
He
rough.
looks
That's
more
why I said
83.
that.
Yeah.
He's looked rough forever.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Ted Kaczynski died in jail, famous for bombing long before Nicolas Cage made it cool. And A Love Stolen in Asset Protection sounds like a great title for a Lifetime movie.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned it's going to be hard to put your kids in that overhead compartment. And please stop freaking out and play some Farmville.
I learned you two quit. God, did you bite my leg? Calm down. It's not like you're going to die of a flesh-eating bacteria. And I also learned, we were just driving. I don't see what the, wait, is that weed? Wait, do you have a gun? Your kids are in the car. It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Far too kind.
Which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil.
Yes,
and stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1.
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on, or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
like a
4.
bun, you know. I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
Fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh,
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I like it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds